Hi, everyone. I'm Sam Crenshaw along with Jamie Dukes. And Jamie, we're getting set for a football game here. A bit of mystery surrounding the Tennessee State football team. They haven't played in 3 weeks now. Maybe a rust factor, but one guy who has to get things going for him is their quarterback, Shannon Harris.
Well, just before we get that started, let's talk about this. About 500 pounds of bacon right here on your screen, and I know Shannon probably wants us to block for him, but that's all right. Shannon Harris is a tremendous football player. He's a guy that really knows what he's doing. Exceptional player, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions in the season opener. A guy that really has a plan. He's going to get back there and spread that ball around for Coach Reese.
All right, now Billy Joe has a guy that he loves too. Quinn Gray, all MEAC performer last year. This guy can put it up in the air as well, and he has to get off to a good start for the Rattlers today.
Well, Quinn Gray is really more like a linebacker. He reminds me of a quarterback, actually, Steve McNair of the Tennessee Titans, an exceptional talent. He's got a big arm, as Coach Joe said, the strongest arm he's ever seen on a quarterback. You see 5 touchdowns, 1 interception on the season. A tremendous football player with a lot.
Dome in Atlanta, as we now having the toss of the coin. Captains at the center of the field. Referee for today's game from the Ohio Valley Conference is Noonan Ramsey. We have an OVC crew working this game, and we're now found out who will have the ball first. The Rattlers will be receiving.
No.
Jamie, taking a look at this series, and it's been a close one, but Tennessee State leads it overall over the Rattlers.
Well, and obviously, I think the emergence of the Florida A&M Rattlers here under Coach Joe has something to do with really the turn. I mean, Tennessee State, Coach Reese, here in his second year, a brilliant young coach, and he's got a great team this year, and I'm looking forward to an exciting battle.
Well, a guy who lives here in Atlanta now plays for the Falcons, Michael Thompson, participated in this rivalry. We talked with him this week, and he had these thoughts about this game.
I hate the Rattlers. I'm talking about how, like, if you go to Tennessee State, you're going to hate the Rattlers. I mean, if I meet somebody that went to fam, I'm like, ugh. I mean, because they were always picked over us, or we're not good enough until we beat the Rattlers. So, I mean, for us to beat them back-to-back, you know, my junior year and my senior year, I mean, it was so exciting. But last year, we went to the Dome and took a big L. I was so upset. I lost a lot of money, you know what I'm saying? I bet my family member. I'm like, man, we going to blow them out. And we got blew out the water. I mean, but this year we got a better quarterback. We got, you know, coaches were the first-year coaches last year, and you know, Coach Reese, and you know, he's going to have a great year this year, and they're going to go into the Dome on Saturday and win. I'm guaranteeing a victory. I'll get out there and put on 7-8 again if I have to.
7-8, go put it on. He is excited. You could see the venom, in which, I mean, he loathes the Rattlers, and that's what's the great thing about college football.
Truly is, and of course Mike having a big weekend. Of course, he's a Tennessee State alum, and Falcons will be back in the same building tomorrow. They're taking on the Carolina Panthers.
Big game.
Isaac Brown is back to receive for the Rattlers, and there Joey Hudak ready to get things started for Tennessee State. It's the Georgia Power Atlanta Football Classic, and we're on the way. The kick is going to come down the 15-yard line. That's Isaac Brown with it. Up across the 25. Got an opening. Gets to the right side. He's across midfield. 2 men to beat. That's back, and he's going to be brought down. Stop on the field. Watch this play, a 41-yard return. A great way for things to get started for this Florida A&M football team. JB, take a look at it.
And it opens up like the Red Sea. Right here you'll see this young man does a good job, and there's a seam right there, and all of a sudden there's no one on the second level. That's what you look for, and as you see him at the end of this play, trying to find a way to get around and possibly break it for a touchdown.
Number 21, Eric Joyce, there for the stop. The Rattlers going 1st and 10. Their own 45 is Tennessee State. There you see Quinn Gray throwing. And complete. Catch by Marco Junius. Down to the 13-yard line of Tennessee State. Eric Joyce there defending. Rattlers coming out there right from the start. We're not surprised by this, though.
I talked about Quinn Gray being a guy who's going to get the ball out. Look at this throw, a perfect throw right down the seams. No one else could make that play but his guy, Marcus Julius. He's a great football player. I'm telling you, you're going to be real excited about Quinn Gray.
1st and 10 from the 13 now. A 32-yard pickup on that play. Gray. One man set behind him, O.J. Marchbanks. Looking to throw. Now will he run it? Now he's going to be hit from behind. Great play defense. Desmond Scantling with the stop from behind. Taking a look now at the FAMU offense, and of course the guy who makes things go, Quinn Gray. You see his numbers so far this season. And the running backs, they have a trio, but the leader is Marchbanks. Junius Allen Brown among the receivers he'll be working with today. Got a whistle on the field.
Prior to snap, false start on the offense. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Noonan Ramsey, the official, and there's with that call here, the guys up front to get things done for Florida A&M. Johnson, Fletcher Williams, Terry Logan at center, Demps, and Larry Ram gets the start at right tackle. As they go now 2nd and 18 from the 21 of Tennessee State. Gray looking, throwing, too tall for Junius, and boy, he got a hit put on him by Scantling. As we set the defensive unit for the TSU Tigers today. Look at that line. Dodson, Robertson, Robert Davis, and Desmond Scantling. We've already seen some work from him. The linebackers, Reese, an all-conference performer. Bryce Smith and Jermaine Beal, also a good one. And then in the backfield, Giddings, Sefiola, Stevens, and Eric Joyce. We've already seen him in on the action as well. 3rd down and 18 from the 21. Rattlers with the ball. Gray looking, throwing, complete. That's Isaac Brown, and he is decked. As soon as he gets it, Deion Giddings there, the sophomore out of Nashville with the stop.
And the key to this game, obviously, is Coach James Reese has decided he wants to put pressure on Quinn Gray and that Rattler offense. And the reason you can get so much pressure is because you have short corners. They run a semblance of the running shoot, that being the Rattlers, where you have just 5 linemen out there, so you have short corners. And Coach Reese is saying, turn up the heat, let's blitz, blitz, blitz.
Going to have to try a field goal now. Juan Vasquez is on for a field goal. Going to be a 37-yard attempt. They got a whistle here.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense. 5-yard penalty, remains 4th down.
Looks like the guilty party was 65. Anthony Hester moving in the line, moves it back. A couple of early penalties, and I talked with Coach Billy Joe about that yesterday. He's hoping that the team would work its way out of that, especially in this game, being the 3rd game of the year. Juan Vasquez, Sheridan All-American, place kicker, in for the 42-yard attempt now. He's got it off, but that's not going to be long enough. And a big scoring opportunity goes by the board for the Rattlers. Coach James Reese has to be pleased with that.
Well, no question about it. You wonder if those 5 yards might have been the difference. Obviously, there's going to be, some kind of fallout from a 3-week layoff. And so, therefore, it's important for the teams to kind of just get the bugs out, get the jitters out, and get back to work.
As you said, it's been a while. Been 3 weeks since TSU's played, a couple of weeks for Florida A&M. So now we get to see the first offensive possession of the day for TSU. Their quarterback, Shannon Harris, out of Wiggins, Mississippi. He's quite a story. We'll talk about him as we get things going. They go 1st and 10 from the 24. The handoff is to Marvin Jones, and he is stacked back. Let's meet this TSU offense. And you see Harris, the man with 291 yards passing against Alabama A&M in the first game of the season. Big second half for the offensive unit of Tennessee State. And then you see Kieran Key, Marvin Jones, Johnson, Ron Jackson, flanker, and Steve Farmer, the tight end. Lawrence Smith is the big guy they say will play on Sundays next year. He's all OVC performer from Atlanta, and he leads an offensive line as they go 2nd and 11 from the 23. Harris looking to throw, throws, incomplete, trying to get to C.J. Johnson. As we take a look at the Rattler defense, Troy Hart there defending for the Rattlers. And the FAMU defense has Jeff Green, Godea Morris, Leon Scott, and Ben Coleman up front. Linebackers are very good ones. Nakia Bynum, outstanding one. Joe Sanders and Shedrick Copeland in the secondary. Saquon Dow, Libby Brown, Carlos Moore and Troy Hart, an all-conference performer a year ago for Florida A&M. 3rd and 11 for the Tigers. Harris rolling right. Gonna keep it. Picks up the first down. Driven out of bounds just short of the 40-yard line. You talked about this young man and what he's capable of doing. He showed you a little bit of it right here.
Again, you have two quarterbacks today who both have the ability to get outside and run with the football. And here you see this young man does a good job of getting outside Harris. And watch him turn on that speed. You see all those linemen. See the 56 there giving up. Come on, big guy. You can do it. Hang in there.
It's early in the game. You got to get used to this. This guy can move around. Picks up the first time on 15-yard pickup. 1st and 10 from the 38. Got a whistle blowing again. Want to get the down marker corrected. Got to have that. It is first down after the 15-yard pickup. 1st and 10 for TSU from their own 38.
And on both sides of the ball, you're seeing the new generation really in play calling. Everybody's calling the ball at the line of scrimmage, not going to the huddle.
The pass outside, that's to Patrick Jenkins. He is stopped, brought down by number 9, Troy Hart. In on the play again.
Hart does a good job of beating the defender, coming inside out and making the play, and that's something where you really have to look at it is being as a defender. You want to make sure that you utilize that sideline as your teammate. He does a good job on that particular play.
And Hart is one of the leading tacklers on this Florida A&M team. Has 10 tackles so far this season. Brings up 2nd and 11 from the 30. 2nd and 10 from the 38. No gain on that play. Harris with the snap. There's the toss. But Jackson going the other way. Knocked down. Great pursuit. Larry Brown there making the play. Number 11. He's a leading tackler on his team. He does everything for this Florida A&M defense, Jamie.
Well, there's no question about it. He's a guy that's got plenty of skill, but it's also great discipline. When you talk about guys getting up the field, you'll see right here at the end, Livy does a good job of staying home, allowing the quarterback not to get any yards whatsoever. Again, and the reason you're seeing out here also this no huddle offense is because, again, you want to take the defensive coordinator out of the game. And so now you're seeing teams really sit right there at the line of scrimmage and make their plays call.
3rd and 10 now. Harris looking, throwing, knocked away. Great defensive play by Troy Hart. He's going for C.J. Johnson on the play. And Hart with a great stop, had to get a hand on it twice.
Troy Hart does a tremendous job actually getting back there, almost intercepted the football.
In the kick now, Joey Hudek. And back to receive for Florida A&M, Larry Brown, number 11. Brown standing back around his own 23-yard line. And here's the kick. Brown calls for a fair catch, and he makes that fair catch right around his own 22, and that is where the Rattlers will start their next offensive possession. 38-yard punt. They're taking a timeout on the field, and we will take one as well. No score here early in the first period in the Atlanta Football Classic from the Georgia Dome. Florida A&M defensive coordinator Clifton Moore rattling with his troops to get them prepared as we return to play here at the Georgia Dome in the 100 Black Men's Atlanta Football Classic. It's the new show everyone's talking about, the Best Damn Sports Show, period. Featuring a comedian who's a diehard sports fan and a bunch of ex-jocks who really know the game. With sports comedy, commentary, and constantly updated scores and highlights. What more could you want from a show? Best Damn Sports Show, period. Premiering Monday at 7:30 and 11:30 p.m. Eastern, only on Fox Sports Network.
Can you say that on the air?
We already did it. Too late now. Let me see. Quid Gray, 2 out of 3 for 33 yards and 1 rush for -3 as the Rattlers go back to work 1st and 10 from their 23-yard line.
And again, the no-huddle offense.
Handoff into the line. Marchbanks doesn't find much. It's a big line working up front. Marcel Goodlow, number 91, in on the stop for Tennessee State.
Goodlow's a guy that really gets up the field, a very aggressive football player, plays with a little attitude, and that's what you like. I mean, he plays with a temperament, and what you're going to see out of this Tennessee State defense, they get behind the line of scrimmage.
Gray with the pass, complete to Charles Allen. knocked down by Jermaine Beal, number 52. A bit of a homecoming for Jermaine Beal from Atlanta with the Tri-Cities High School out in East Point. That's going to bring up 3rd and 4 from the 29.
Again, the key with Quinn Gray is he knows where he's going with the football. It doesn't take him long to make a decision. That's what you look at on Sundays if a guy's going to be able to play on Sunday. 2
running backs now for Florida, and an unusual Kelsey Lordy is in behind Marchbanks. And now he shifts to the shotgun. Gray looking to throw. It is complete. The juniors, and he's still going across midfield. Out to the 40s, knocked down around the 38-yard line of Tennessee State. Bryce Smith is there to make the stop. A 32-yard pickup.
Again, Gray's a guy that really knows what he's doing with the ball. You see juniors down at the bottom field, does the old stop right there, and what happens is overcommitment from the defense. And again, you talked about it in the introduction. What do you do with the long layoff? And those are the things. Some of your pursuit angles are going to be a little bit different, and those are some of the bugs and kinks that you have to work out.
1st and 10 from the 39 of Tennessee State. Got whistles blowing again.
Dean, does he want one? Timeout. Tennessee State.
Timeout's been called by TSU. And while they take a break, we will take one as well. There's no score with 9:24 to go in the first period between Tennessee State and Florida A&M. We'll be right back. Atlanta and the Georgia Power Atlanta Football Classic, sponsored by the 100 Black Men of Atlanta. And we do have a guest right now before we get back to play. Bernard M. Porcher, the chairman and president of the 100 Black Men of Atlanta. Welcome, sir, and congratulations on another great year here.
Well, thank you so much. We're extremely pleased. This is an outstanding event, and they tell me we're going to have a huge crowd here at about second quarter. We're looking forward to having a great time for a really great cause.
Talk about the cause is something that helps a lot of young people. You've done it for so long here in the Atlanta area.
Well, some 13 years ago, we adopted 35 children that people thought didn't have any potential. And we took those kids and worked with them from the 8th grade all the way through high school. And when they graduated, we had made a commitment to their parents and their families that we would take care of their expenses, full fare to any college or university that they were accepted to. Out of that 35 kids, 31 of them graduated, and a few ended up with dual degrees.
You have to be pleased with how this event has been embraced by this community over the years.
It's just been tremendous. When we started this game, it's just amazing because in our first event, no one thought that this could be pulled off. It had been tried before, but not been very successful. And when we tried to play this game at Georgia Tech, even the Georgia Tech people said, you know, we don't know whether we really want to do this because we're not sure you're all going to raise enough money to pay the bill. But we did, and Georgia Tech held 42,000. The very first game, we put 45,000 fans in the city.
Corporate sponsorship always big. You have a major corporate sponsor that's come on board with you, and it really has seemed to make things even better for you.
Georgia Power has been tremendous with us. They have stepped forward in a big way. And I have to tell you, David Radcliffe, who provides the leadership of that organization, is extremely sensitive to our work and our efforts, and he has just put his full support behind us in this event, and it has gone to a total another level.
Well, one thing I can ask you before I let you go here, you talk about another level. This event has grown so much over the years, and it's something that people here in the metro area look forward to. They mark their calendars every year to know when this game's going to be played. What can we do for the future to even get better than this?
Well, I'm just telling you, I'm hoping, you know, I'm going to keep my fingers crossed. I'm hoping we see a sellout crowd here before this game is over today. And we want to take this game national. We want the world to see Atlanta and see what the 100 Black Men of Atlanta are doing for the youth of this country.
This football game is so much more than just a game. There are a number of events that take place surrounding this event that people get involved with. Of course, last night there at Morehouse, the step show.
We have a tremendous step show at Morehouse. This evening, our Project Success students are going to have their first anniversary. Their 10th anniversary. And since they came out of Archer High School, all of the members are going to be there to show their support for what they've been doing and find out where they've been.
We had the Fan Fest today and the parade this morning.
We had, thanks to the Atlanta Falcons, a great display out on the plaza from the World Congress Center. A number of kids participating in that activity. That's the first time we've had it at that event with the Georgia Power Atlanta Football Classic.
But Bernard M. Portier, thank you so much for stopping by and visiting with us. We salute you and the 100 Black Men of Atlanta once again for a job well done.
Thank you for helping the 100 Black Men, and we're pleased to be here.
All right. On the field, Florida A&M has just punted an outstanding punt by T.J. Smith that goes out of bounds around the 3-yard line, a 32-yard punt, and they're going to pin the Tigers back pretty deep when they get their next offensive possession here. Still no score with 8:35 to go in the first period. Tennessee State and Florida A&M total offenses so far. TSU 13 yards of total offense, and Florida A&M 73 yards. And they've been moving the ball well. They just haven't been able to get into the end zone. So, Jamie, the Tigers get set to go back to work. And let's see what Shannon Harris can do from deep in his own territory. 1st and 10 from their 3. It's a tough spot.
No question about it. FAMU defense being aggressive, getting penetration.
When you can get runs like that one, that helps a lot, though. That's Kayron Key giving him some working room out across the 10-yard line to the 11.
Kayron Key looks like one of the little small houses in the Florida Keys. I mean, a big boy right there, you see. I mean, just a fire hydrant.
5'10", 230 senior from Nashville, bringing up 2nd and 2 from the 11. Harris with the give. Jones still going up across the 20, still on his feet at the 30. Well, they knocked down, ball goes out of bounds. Picks up some yards on that, does he? Up across the 30-yard line to the 32. Carlos Moore there for the stop. Florida A&M has a 21-yard pickup. Right now, we talked about moving it through the air. How about the ground game?
And again,
right now?
Marvin Jones is a guy who's got great vision. I mean, it's kind of a 1-2 punch when you think about the running back. You got your fire plug, number 41, and then all of a sudden you have Jones, who's your kind of your scat back. And Jones is an exceptional talent. Guy that's got real good feet and good vision. As you see, he runs a cutback on the last play.
1st and 10 from their own 32. Go the Tigers. TSU. Harris, the give, keeping it on the ground. Jones, right side, up across the 35. Where the Rattlers bring him down. Joe Sanders there among the defenders, making the stop. They'll call it a pickup of 3. Be 2nd and 7.
And the thing I really like about James Reese and his game and how he calls the game, he's an old running back, you know, a legend at Tennessee State. I think he'll still got a couple records. I still think he likes to run the football and really has a real balanced attack.
Now he's spreading things out. Harris looking, rolling, got some running room up across the 40, 45 midfield, and he gets out of bounds. There he is, doing it again.
This guy is an exciting young football player. There's no question about it. And the guy's got wheels. And let's talk about wheels. See that quarterback, those instincts. He feels it from the backside. And when that corner when the end comes out that corner, it's wide open. You don't see a jersey. Now here they come. You almost had a little clip right at the end of the play there. Could have called that back. That's when the coach goes nuts. Hey, you got no business being over there.
19-yard pickup, though. Headsy play by Shannon Harris. Brings up a 1st and 10 from the 46. Tigers inside FAMU territory.
And all the damage being done on the ground, running the football. Not a pass on this series.
Yeah, this time it's to Marvin Jones. He dribbles it one time, but he's able to recover. We'd like to welcome the viewers watching on Fox Sports Net in Florida to our coverage of college football live from the Georgia Dome in Atlanta. This is Sam Crenshaw along with Jamie Dukes for the Atlanta Football Classic featuring Tennessee State and Florida A&M. 6:30 remaining in the first period. No score between these two teams. Tennessee State with the ball, 2nd and 11 at the 47 of Florida A&M. This is Shannon Harris, their quarterback. Looking, can't find a receiver. Here he goes again. 45, goes to 40 and steps out of bounds. Doing smart things, Jamie.
No question about it. And Shannon Harris realizing, you know, I want to play on Sunday too. Get out of bounds. You know, when you see the quarterback, 3 rushes, 42 yards. This young man, again, has a lot of talent. FAMU doing a good job of getting pressure into the backfield. And, again, those are instincts that you just cannot coach. Pull the ball down and get out of bounds.
Nice pickup there for Shannon Harris, a transfer from Mississippi Gulf Coast Junior College from Wiggins, Mississippi. And you mentioned Mr. McNair earlier. I think he was involved with the persuasion to get him to come to Tennessee. Pitch given to Jones on the left side. Dickey's got the first down up across the 35, inside the 35. Chris Thorpe, number 96, among those there on the play for Florida A&M.
Again, another little wrinkle by Coach James Reese, running the option on that particular play. A well-rounded football team. I remember last year having covered Tennessee State. He was really upset because it was a young team, lost a lot of players. But now he's had a chance to really have 2 solid preseasons with his ball club, and you see a well-coached football team today.
Tigers, you see Jones, 5 carries, 29 yards. They go 1st and 10 from the 31 of Florida A&M. Harris is looking to throw. Throwing. Tip. Great defensive play. LeBron Jackson was there trying to catch the pass. And defending Shaquan Dow, the 5'10 senior from Brooklyn, New York, making a great stop there.
And did you see the flip at the end? Again, offensive line doing a good job. Tennessee State's offensive line doing a good job holding out. And you'll see right there, Shannon does a good job of getting the ball in there. But watch this little flip. I think at the end of the play, you're going to see, look at this.
Okay.
The Russian judge gives him an 8.
It's the 9th play of this drive coming up. And we got a whistle and a timeout for Tennessee State. While Coach James Reese and the Tigers talk about it, we'll take a timeout from the Georgia Dome. 5:44 to go in the first period. No score. You're watching the Atlanta Football Classic on Fox Sports Net. Is on the move here in the first quarter. And talking about the Tigers, Jamie, some great players have played for this program down through the years. There he is, Jefferson Street Joe.
Boy, what an exceptional quarterback. You want to talk about a cannon. I mean, Joe could throw the ball 100 yards. Then you obviously have Ed Too Tall Jones, a guy I played against many moons ago. He was in the league my rookie year.
And another guy you faced as well with the Bears.
There he is, my dear friend, Mr. Richard Denton. What a wonderful human being he is. I tell you what, Richard does a lot of things also for children charities, a great football player, and a great businessman, I might add.
Indeed, and a native of city here in Atlanta, went to Murphy High School. Just a short ways away from the Georgia Dome where we are now. As we get set to resume play with 5:44 remaining. Harris having a great day on the ground, 42 yards so far. And Marvin Jones, 29 yards on the ground. It is 2nd and 10 from the 31 of Florida A&M as the Tigers are on the move. Give this time to Q. Still going. Pushed out of bounds around the 20-yard line. Jamie, this ground game has been very impressive and not totally what we expected to see from this Tennessee State team.
Well, there's no question, especially when your quarterback throws for almost 300 yards last week and he has 4 touchdown passes. But again, Coach James Reese doing a good job of mixing it up. If you notice, none of these plays look the same. He's doing a good job of mixing it up. 1 minute you're running option, 1 minute you're running counter plays. And again, it all stems from the fact that you're at the line of scrimmage, taking the defensive coordinator out of the game.
And the important thing is moving the sticks all along. It's 1st and 10 from the 17. The pitch this time is to Jones. He's still on his feet down inside the 10, down around the 5-yard line goes Marvin Jones, the senior from Dayton, Ohio. On the ground is how the Tigers are doing it. To show you the bit of a difference so far and how things went between first game. Look at the first game. They played against Alabama A&M. 45 yards and today over 100 yards already on the ground. And look at the numbers for the air.
Again, -1 yards passing. But the thing about it, because you take the defense out, and remember, this FAMU defense lost 7 starters from last year.
Florida A&M was trying to get a timeout. They don't get it. Instead, Tennessee State gets a playoff, and there's a penalty flag in the back of the end zone. The give was to Jones. The Florida A&M coaching staff was frantically trying to call a timeout before the ball was snapped.
One of those plays where you go, hold up, don't do it. Okay, they only got a yard. Yeah, okay, fine. That's right. We'll save the timeout.
Penalty is against Florida A&M.
Too many men on the field.
Here's Newman Ramsey.
Illegal participation. 12 men on the field on the defense. Penalties half the distance to the goal. Still 1st down and goal.
That's why the FAMU coaches were trying to get a timeout. And no Coach Billy Joe up in his box can't be pleased with that.
Well, but I think to a certain extent he understands, because one of the things we talked about was just when you lose that many guys, it's very difficult.
From the 2, fighting his way over, touchdown TSU, Kayron Key. And they did it on the ground, Jamie, and they were quite impressive.
No question about it. This offensive line comes off the ball. They do a good job. You see Smith there. You see some of the other guys doing a good job of establishing themselves at the point of attack.
A long drive also controls the clock. And that's something I'm sure Coach Reese wants to do, too. Keep Mr. Gray off the field, and that's a way to do it. Joey Hudak in for the extra point. And it's good. TSU out to a 7-0 lead over Florida A&M. And take another look at this touchdown, Jamie.
Again, the offensive line doing a good job using angles. You see the fullback lead right there. You see Big Walker push. Come on, guys. And the reason I'm touting the offensive line, one of my former teammates, Harry Galvin, is the offensive line coach for Tennessee State. And he's a good guy. And he knows, you see right there, pancake block right there by the fullback. I mean, great push, great surge, good football player, touchdown.
That's a perfect drive. Look at the numbers here. 11 plays, 97 yards. Remember, they started on the 3-yard line after that great punt, pinned them almost in their own end zone, and they take almost 4 minutes off the clock, and that's important here for Tennessee State. I don't think James Reese can ask for much more in a drive.
Coach is going to give you a cookie when you do that kind of thing. I mean, 97 yards. I mean, he's going to get in and pull down there and pull up a T-biscuit for you.
He will do that. All right, Joey Hudak getting set to kick it off to Isaac Brown. A story in himself, the senior from Baton Rouge. And number 11, Levy Brown for Florida A&M. Got to be a little bit shocked there from the Rattlers. Not to be behind for them to score, but the manner in which they scored. And here's the kick. Levy Brown will take it at his own 15. It's across the 20 and hit. Brought down around his 25-yard line, and that is where the Rattlers will start their offensive possession.
You know, you talk about surprise in the manner in which a team scores and which a team does good things. A lot of times when you prepare for a team, Tennessee, I'm sure FAMU's defense was really preparing for a passing juggernaut. I mean, and so sometimes you can catch a team off guard when you're not thinking a team is going to run the football. Your stance is a little different on the defensive line. Your base is a little tighter because you're planning on getting up the field for pass rush. So many things happen.
Here's Gray. He's 4 for 7 for 73 yards. But here comes the ground game for Florida A&M. O.J. Marchbanks picking up big yardage. Take another look at this one. Could this be Smash Mouth Day?
Oh, yeah. Well, see, the thing is, I got to give Terry Logan some love. 51, you see right there. See, I love those offenses. You got to give the lineman a little love. See, he's 6 foot by 6 foot, a lot like me. Yeah. Wide, and wide.
They're making it work. 14-yard pickup. 1st and 10 from the 40. Florida A&M. Here's Gray. And he's going to have to move. Rolling right now, throwing it. Look at him throw it on the run. Intercepted. Picked off by Eric Joyce. The senior from Nashville with the pick for TSU.
And that's one of those plays in which, you know, talking to Coach Joe, he said that the one drawback of Gray's game is sometimes he's got to learn to just go ahead and take a sack. Here you see the talent, exceptional talent, the quick feet moving around. But see, he just threw the ball down, and you can see he's got a great arm. But those are the kind of plays in which Coach Joe was talking about, where this young man needs to learn how to take a sack instead of throwing the ball up for grabs and an interception.
Sometimes you have to do that or just take what's there, as we saw Shannon Harris do for TSU so many times. Well, now, speaking of Harris, he's back on the field. TSU back with the game, and what will we see now? We're going to see the pass. We're going to see the ground game.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, baby. I mean, you can look for them to run the ball a little bit.
1st and 10 from the 30. Here's Jones, right side, still on his feet, spins. He's up around the 35-yard line. Nice little piece of running by Marvin Jones.
Again, if it's not broke, you definitely do not want to fix it. And offensively, obviously right now, Tennessee State doing a great job of coming off the ball on the line of scrimmage. And think about this. Also, you've got a lot of young players for Florida A&M on defense, and now they just came from a 97-yard drive.
Right back on the field. Harris looking, throwing. As complete. C.J. Johnson Gets up to around the 40-yard line. He stopped short of the 40 at around a 39. Just short of first down yardage.
And again, the diversity, that's what's so impressive when you watch what Coach Reese is doing with this football team offensively as offensive coordinator and head coach. That's an interesting thing. Also, Coach Joe is also the offensive coordinator for FAMU, and he sits up, and we'll talk a little about that. He's up higher than we are right now because he calls the game from on high.
Indeed, it's unusual, but it's worked for him for so many years, and that's where he coaches. You will not find him on the sideline. This is a toss this time to Jones, going left side. It's just across the 40-yard line. Should be enough to pick up the first down and move those sticks for TSU.
Asserting themselves again, and you don't think about it. I mean, different types of play. We have not seen the same play yet. This team has really diversified their offense stack. You see right there, Coach Joe upstairs on the phone. Give me somebody. Give me one of those guards down there. I got to talk to somebody because we got to get this thing done.
And, of course, Coach Joe, we talked with him yesterday, frightening moment for him. He has a daughter who works in New York, just several blocks away from the World Trade Center. And there were some anxious moments for him Tuesday, a week ago. But he was able to contact her, and she was safe and sound. And she contacted him, and he was very much relieved. We talked to him about that yesterday while the team was on the field. It is 1st and 10 from their own 41. Harris tosses, catch by Johnson, knocked out of bounds.
And it's funny, the reason Coach Joe was up in the booth is because the story happened years ago. He was a traditional sideline coach, but he was playing against a guy, a former Florida State coach, and Daryl Mooger, who's now moved on to Northern Illinois. But the funny thing about the story is he saw Mooger up there, and Mooger was looking down on the field, and he said, "Well, why is this guy doing it?" He said, "The guy's got to be crazy to be doing this." But what it turns out, and you see the interception.
That's why you practice the tip drill, but I think he didn't come up with it. I think we got a hop in there. Troy Hart thought he had it. Did he have it?
Nope, they did not give it to him. But, to finish the story, it's so funny, he thought he was out of his mind for being up there, but when he looked up at halftime, he was down by 50 points.
That drove him up to the box, and he hadn't been down since. Let's look at the tip drill. That's why you practice that thing.
Catch the ball. That's what we call money.
Mm-hmm.
That's money right there. You see right here, good job. Guys bat the ball around, but somebody's got to catch it.
TSU still moving 3rd down and 8 now. They've been successful in 3rd down so far. 3 or 4 in 3rd down conversions. Harris looking, throwing. No! Incomplete. Great defensive play there by Carlos Moore, defending the tight end Steve Farmer.
Going back to a point I made earlier, we were talking about how Tennessee State running the football, having such success. If you notice, FAMU's secondary has been right on point. And so really it goes back to the theory of when you made preparations to play a team that passes the football, the secondary has been truly right on point. It's just a scenario where the offense, Coach Reese decides, hey, let's run the football, and they had some success.
2:24 to go here in the first period, and Hudak's back on the field now to punt it away. Libby Brown is back to receive. Low snap, but he gets it away. And look at that bounce. Down to around the 11-yard line, and that is where the Rattlers will start. A 46-yard kick. Good things continue to happen for this TSU football team early in this game.
And it's so funny, that play was so close to being a breakout. Levy Brown, number 11, was trying to catch that ball on the fly, and had he been able to catch that ball on the one hop, he was going to be able to take it because there was a seam that actually opened up where the guys were kind of getting out of the way. But the ball literally rolled right up over the top of his head.
1st and 10 for the Rattlers of Florida A&M. Let's see what Quinn Gray and the FAMU offense have this time from their own 11-yard line. He is in the shotgun. Here's Gray, the handoff, nothing doing. O.J. Marksbank stopped in his tracks. Desmond Scantling, number 56 there on the stop for Tennessee State.
And Scantling, just a tremendous football player, a very active player. He's a guy that sets the tone for this defense. Plays with a lot of intensity. He's one of those guys that, they kind of want to bite your head off and do all those nasty things to you. Real nasty football player in a clean way.
Okay. I'm glad you cleaned that up.
In a clean way.
2nd and 15 now on their own 6. Rattlers going in reverse. Gray looking, gets rid of it. through the hands of his receiver, DeBar Bow, and the defender that was there as well, Deion Giddings.
And something just happened on that play that, will go unseen. And that's, the development and the maturation in my mind of Gray also, because, see, there was a blitz on that play. And, again, talking about the ball's got to come out. He knows what he's doing with the football. The receiver just basically dropped that pass. But, again, Gray knows what he's doing, and that's very impressive at this level.
He's missed on his last 4 attempts. This pass off the Marchbanks, he scoops it up across the 10, around the 12, 13-yard line. He stopped there. And they will have to put the ball up again. Jermaine Beal there on the stop. The 6'1", 235-pound junior from Atlanta.
And talk about generalship, from an offensive coordinator. Coach Joe making a tremendous call right there. Again, being able to see from up top, seeing the pressure, seeing the blitzes come from outside. What do? You run a screen. If Gray was able to get the ball up a little higher, give the running back an opportunity to make something happen, you got a big play. But again, a great play call by Coach Joe.
It's T.J. Smith with the kick.
Wow.
That's way back there.
Wow.
Look at Patrick Jenkins going back to retrieve us around his own 20. He's going to try to bring it back. Lots of green jerseys there, and he's forced out of bounds. Just passes short of his 25-yard line. 24, a 66-yard punt when you count that roll.
That'll make your stats go up.
Punter won't complain about that at all.
I don't talk about specialists much, because kickers and punters, these guys, they sit on, they come out for the first 10 minutes of practice and then come out for the last 10 minutes of practice. It's like, I've always had a little problem, little fang, with kickers and punters, but that was an excellent punt.
When they come through like that,
yes,
you love them.
You let them sit on the bus. You still make them get the Kool-Aid in the water.
Oh, you're tough. Oh, you're tough. First and 10 from the 24 TSU. Let's see what Shannon Harris and the Tigers have in store this time. Got everybody spread it.
5 receivers.
Play clock running down, and now we got a penalty flag call. We have some movement.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
And that was 62, our man Lawrence Smith, the guy who is all OVC performer that people feel will play on Sundays next year. Talk with Coach Reese about it. He says this guy is a total package. He really loves him. He says he has those long arms and great feet. And who does that remind everybody of?
Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you very much. Thank you.
First and 15 from the 19. Pass complete to Batavia Weldon, making the catch for TSU.
And again, Levi Brown all over the defender. Again, FAMU's secondary done a tremendous job so far of really staying in the mix and locking up the Tennessee State wide receivers.
Brings up 2nd and 6 from their own 28. Got whistle again. Into the quarter. We've got 1 quarter gone here from the Georgia Dome in Atlanta, where Tennessee State has a 7-0 lead over Florida A&M. We'll take one more look at the only score of the first period. And of course, that's Kieran King. Big fullback getting it over, and TSU has a 7-0 lead at the end of the first period of the Atlanta Football Classic. The Georgia Dome in Atlanta, Tennessee State with a 7-0 lead over Florida A&M after the first period of the Atlanta Football Classic. And joining me now is the president and CEO of Georgia Power Company, David M. Ratcliffe. And welcome to the booth with us.
Well,
you are the title sponsor for this game, and talk a little about your involvement with this classic.
Well, it's the 2nd year of our involvement, and we've committed for another 3 years because the class and the quality of this event just keeps getting better with each year. It's a great event with a lot of enthusiasm and dedicated to a tremendous cause. The proceeds from this event, as you know, go to help kids in this city with their education all the way through college. It really is just an exciting event to be a part of.
Speak a little bit about what makes this a perfect fit for Georgia Power and the Southern Company.
Well, first of all, we are part of the 100 organization because some of my employees, I have a senior vice president named Jim Davis who was one of the charter members of the 100 organization, and we've had a past president who was a president of the 100, and we've had a relationship with this organization for a number of years because we stand for the same kinds of things. We're about trying to help the communities that we live in and work in.
Indeed, it has to be gratifying to see the community also embrace this event. They come out and support it the way they do every year.
Well, I think certainly and particularly this year with what we've been through in the last 2 weeks, and to have this be the first event in the Georgia Dome after the tragic events of the last couple of weeks, and to see this enthusiasm and this turnout is just fantastic.
We just saw a turnover out of Florida, but by Tennessee State. Florida A&M is back in business. Talk about the future. You say you're already on board for another 3 years with this, and talk about the things that go into the things you like to see happen and the things that cause you to feel like that's a good idea to do that.
Well, first of all, as I said, the biggest thing that we're excited about is the project success, as the funds and the proceeds go to support education in the community. But what we've begun to do around this event with the 100 organization is to build ancillary events that things like job fairs and college fairs for kids to come and find out about employment opportunities and educational opportunities. And we just keep building each year, and we're excited about the future opportunities.
Well, we're so excited you had some time to come by and spend with us. Congratulations to you and Georgia Power for your involvement in another successful classic here.
Well, thanks so much for the opportunity, and we look forward to a great event.
All right, that's David M. Ratcliffe, the president and CEO of Georgia Power Company, the title sponsor of the Atlanta Football Classic. Down on the field, we had a turnover. Ben Coleman recovered it for Florida A&M. Now the Rattlers go back to work on offense. It's now 2nd down and 8 from the 24 of TSU. And Jamie, what an opportunity here for this Florida A&M offense.
No question about it. And here you see Coach Joe digging something else out. He runs the option, gets Gray outside, letting him show you those feet.
Kelsey Lordius sweeping around the right side, but we got a penalty flag. Got a feeling this one might come back.
I think there was a clip on the outside by the receiver. Holding. That hurts you. And I tell you, the thing is, this offense has got to do some take advantage, if nothing else, to give the defense a little pat on the back for doing what they did in getting the turnover. It's important that the offense gets some points out of this drive.
Not when you have things like that happen, and Coach Joe can't be pleased about that at all. It's the 4th penalty for Florida A&M, and we're early in the 2nd quarter of this game. It moves them back to the 34, and now it'll be 2nd and 18.
And I think it's their offense. I think the penalties have actually come on offense, and you ask yourself, what are the residual effects?
2nd and 18 from the 34. Got 2 setbacks behind Gray. He's looking to throw. Now he's got some pressure. Can he find his way out? Still moving, but dropped. Practically no gain.
Again, Scantling is a guy who is just relentless. Number 56, he's a young man who's got a lot of pop in his legs, moves around, very active football player, made a great play on Quinn Gray.
He was there along with Jermaine Beal, making it now 3rd and 20 from the 36. Gray with Marchbanks there with him in the backfield. Play clock running down at 5. At 2. And he gets it off. Pass is complete to Charles Allen. Brought down around the 28-yard line.
And again, Gray doesn't get the first down, but what he's doing his reads. You know, Coach Joe's sitting up there and says, son, this guy comes off the corner. Here's your blitz read. And you saw at the very end of the play, he pointed to the receiver to let him know, hey, you're hot. The ball's coming to you. That's what's impressive about this young man. He's frustrated right now. You can see on the sideline, anytime a guy puts his head back like that, you can tell he's a little bit frustrated, but you have to be patient. But very impressed with his decision making.
Juan Vasquez on now. Lining up on the 35, be a 45-yard field goal attempt. And it's blocked. Ball is still loose. Picked up by Allen and knocked down around the 40-yard line of Florida A&M. Deion Giddings there making the play. What a turn of events.
No question about it. Here you're looking at going for 3, and all of a sudden you may get points on the other side.
In the middle, you see penetration come right up the middle, and I believe that's Scantling again, maybe.
Watch the pressure coming from right up the middle.
Right between the guard and the center seam, you'll see just a split second there. You see it just come right open and open like the Red Sea.
I believe that was number 6, Marquise Stevens.
I knew I saw a 6 in there somewhere.
Getting up there, getting a hand on it. Going to be 1st and 10 from the 40. Here's Shannon Harris looking, throwing, complete. Patrick Jenkins with the reception. 20-yard pickup.
Now you're getting a chance to see really the touch and the skill sets that Harris has, putting the ball basically right over the defender. There was a defender right there, and what he did was just throw it right at the defender's back because the defender was running, never saw the football. And you're seeing that more and more out of quarterbacks, throwing the ball right on a guy.
1st and 10 for the Tigers. Or 21 of Florida A&M. They're on the move again after that blocked field goal attempt. Harris looking, throwing, got a completion again, this time to C.J. Johnson. And they're saying no. Saying he wasn't able to hang on.
I talked about Gray getting the ball out when the blitz comes. On that particular play, Harris does a good job of recognizing the blitz, hits the hot man, which is his inside receiver. Again, that's coaching, and that's the thing that people don't understand is that, these quarterbacks are very well coached and talented football players. You see 39 yards passing, 42 yards rushing, a complete game. Not big numbers, but again, he's doing the little thing.
He's got this team moving in a big way. 2nd and 10 now from the 21 of Florida A&M. Harris back to pass once again. The throw, too short. Was that a completion? Nope. Incomplete. Going for his tight end. That's Steve Farmer, number 84. Brings up a 3rd and 10.
Good pressure from the FAMU defense on that play. Again, trying to find ways to make something happen.
Got more receivers. Number 1, Carlos Wright has checked in. Number 22, Charles Anthony in the backfield behind Harris. 3rd and 10 from the 21 of Florida A&M. Harris looking, throwing, outside. That's right. At the 20, puts on a move. So 15, he's knocked down at the 15-yard line. Number 5, Alex Fortson there on the stop for Florida A&M.
Harris does a good job, again, surveying the field, looking around, trying to find a receiver, and then finally hits his outlet man and lets a guy make a play. That's the one thing you like about also college football is when you get a situation where you got a guy one-on-one out there, you want to let your players make plays. Now, in that particular play, it was a great open field tackle.
Joey Hudak on for the field goal attempt. Going to be a 33-yarder. It's up, and it's good. 3 more for the Tigers.
Boy, you gave birth to that field goal. Okay.
10:24 to go in the first half. The Tigers have a 10-0 lead on the Rattlers. We're coming back for more of the Atlanta Football Classic. The defensive coordinator for Florida A&M, and here's a summary of what we've had happened so far. Florida A&M trailing 10-0, and there you see Tennessee State with 112 yards rushing. And not what we were expecting. Check out some of the key plays here. Number 41, Keewan Key, muscling it in, and then the big interception. Eric Joyce to stop the play as they're doing it on the ground on offense and some great plays on defense. And so far, it's been all TSU in this game.
Coach Reach, you see right there on the screen, does a good job, again, working with his young men. And they're excited about this guy. They're really excited about, especially having an alumnus as the head coach. He's a guy that, he's a passionate coach, and that's what I really like about him. He really believes in his team. His guys really believe in him. And, and he'll lay the wood to him also. As they say, he will lay it down to him and let them know, hey, guys, this is how we do it at TSU.
In the kickoff. That is Isaac Brown, and he has nowhere to go, gets stopped around the 24-yard line. And that is where Florida A&M will start this offensive possession.
See Logan there and some of the other linemen getting hit on. I love those wide bodies. I mean, anytime look at those guys. I mean, you could just paint mayonnaise all around those waistlines right there. Give me that submarine with the extra mayo. I love my boys.
Big guys got to get the wood chopped right now. Florida A&M's going to get going on offense. Quinn Gray going 1st and 10 from the on 24. Big play right there. Number 40, Walter Reese, the all-OVC performer. I think he tackled the whole secondary.
The left tackle is actually supposed to block down on this play. You never turn. You always run counts. That's the one thing about when you have a running play. It doesn't matter if it's a DB linebacker. You have to follow rules, and that is, if you got the second man on that side, that's who's your guy.
All over Marchbanks, and there's a throw, and there's another interception. Nope. Almost. Marquis Stevens, along with Eric Joyce defending. Almost coming up with another interception of a pass from Quinn Gray.
And earlier I talked about the FAMU secondary doing a great job. Tennessee State doing a tremendous job also being around the football, and they had their own chance. Catch the ball, guys, come on!
3rd and 15, Gray looking, gonna run it. He's at the 30, lost the 35, up to the 40. That's good enough for a first down for the Rattlers.
Showing his versatility, and this is a guy running like that who's 235 pounds. That's the thing. You see when you look at a guy with his talent. You see right here coming off against Starling's coming off the end there. And again, you can't pull this big joker down with an arm. And look at the speed. Look how fast he's going through that secondary. Rumbling, stumbling, bumbling, humbling. Oh, I'm sorry.
21-yard pickup, and he moves him. Picks up the first down, 1st and 10 from the 40-yard line. Here's Gray. The pass deflected in the air and intercepted. Danny Robertson comes away with it off the deflection. The TSU defense making another big play.
Big Daddy. Danny Robertson, he's a guy who's the spiritual leader of that front. You see Coach Reese right there. He's got to be excited about plays being made. You see Thompson on the sideline. You see Michael Thompson, the Falcons offensive lineman. They're cheering his boys on. But you see good work by number 57, Grayson does a good job of blocking the pass.
Grayson with the block. Robertson brings it down, and just like that, TSU is back in business. 1st and 10 from the 28 of Florida A&M. Shannon Harris looking. Now thinks about running, and he's going to be taken down. Got a penalty flag right there in the backfield. Looked a little indecisive on that play, Jamie.
Well, I think he saw color flash on the inside. FAMU doing a good job of getting penetration. The holding penalty on that particular play. I think you could call holding on a couple of different occasions, but he saw color flash, and that's one thing that's really a distraction for a quarterback. The one thing you do not want to do is let color flash in the quarterback's face immediately. It's all right after the pass rush comes, but when he drops back, you don't want to let color flash because he will not be able to go downfield and begin his normal progression of reading 1st and 2nd level.
Rattlers deciding if they want to take this penalty.
Coach is saying back it up. Got to back him up. Put him in unusual situations. Especially down this close. Just kicked, I believe, a 35-yard field goal on their last attempt in this area.
Holding on the offense. That penalty is declined. 2nd down.
They declined the penalty, making it 2nd down and 10. Watch Leon Scott gets credit for the sack on the last play. $9:10 to go here in the first half. They lost 6 yards on that sack. It'll now be 2nd and 16 at 34.
And that's why you don't actually, I see why the coach doesn't take penalty, because they got the sack and lost yards, but the sack is supposed to be at 2nd and 10. It's 2nd and 16. So really, you'd rather take that down away for 4 more yards.
Got some movement up on the line. And a whistle.
Tight end Farmer jumping off sides there, getting a little premature.
Now the Tigers going in reverse.
See the penalties, 4 for 22 yards, and again, I believe all the penalties from the FAMU side of things is actually from their offense still, kind of have a little hitch in their giddy up right now, not being able to go out there and be the smooth machine that they've been in the past.
2nd and 21. Harris looking. Now he's going to run it. He's inside the 40. He's at the 35. Picks up a block, gets out of bounds just short of the 30-yard line. And a flag comes in. Watch for number 1, Carlos Wright, and we get another look at this one. And the penalty is against Tennessee State. A little push toward the end of this one, Jamie.
It's just a little illegal assistance. You know, you're trying to protect your quarterback, and at the very tail end of the play, just doesn't. It was just a little slight nudge.
Didn't mean to.
Stay off my quarterback.
That's it.
But Harris again showing the speed. This young man, multi-talented football player, and we haven't really got a chance to see the arm. But again, making good reads. FAMU secondary doing a tremendous job. This is really kind of a great, two great generals going at it, tit for tat. You throw the ball, you think you want to throw the ball, we're going to run the ball. I'm getting confused.
But you have to like what you've seen from Harris in the situations when nothing's really been there. He hasn't tried to force it.
That's exactly right. And on the other side of the ball, you have Gray, who actually in a couple situations has forced the ball, put his team in a little trouble.
2nd and 26. Harris looking to throw. Airs it out there. Got a man out there. That was Ron Jackson. Too long for Jackson. Defending on the play, number 9, Troy Hart for Florida A&M. Brings up 3rd down.
Great play action on that play. Done a good job of bringing the running back in, sucking the linebackers in, getting one-on-one coverage on the outside, and Harris just didn't have just quite enough time to make the accurate throw. You see him pat himself on the head saying, hey, that's my fault, that's my fault. That's how a general is supposed to react.
Still third down now at 26 from the 44 of Florida A&M. There you see the numbers on Harris so far today. He's back to throw again. The throw almost intercepted. Nice defensive play by Sequan Dow.
Give me one more of those flips, kid. Come on, kid. Give me another flip. I like that.
He showed it to you earlier. Defending on C.J. Johnson. We'll bring up 4th down. And Joey Hudak's on to punt. Levy Brown's back around his own 10-yard line. Takes it and looking at bounce to the outside. He's at the 15 and knocked down around the 16-yard line. And that's where the Rattlers will get started when we come back. You're watching the Atlanta Football Classic featuring Florida A&M and Tennessee State on Fox Sports Net. Tennessee State and Florida A&M, and so far the Tigers have been getting the job done. TSU leading by a score of 10-0 with 8 minutes to go here in the first half. Surprising. Some surprises for us in this game so far.
No question about it. What a beautiful day outside. There's no question. I just want to take out my pocket knife and kind of cut the roof off the dome so we can let a little sun in here.
You get in big trouble you do that.
Oh, Khalil, I love you.
He would not be happy with you. Nice play there. Shuffle pass there to Kelsey Lordius. Makes a nice pickup for the Rattlers. Jermaine Beal there for the stop. Gets it across the 25 to around the 26-yard line.
And I make mention of Khalil, as in Khalil Johnson does a tremendous job with the Georgia Dome and this authority. And this place has really grown under his leadership.
Indeed, and they have had to work extra hard, all things considered, from the past 2 weeks with security measures that have been taking place. That is happening in all the stadiums around the country. Lordius once again going left side, running hard. Picks up the first down and more. See a helmet come off there.
Again, General Joe, Coach Joe calling plays, changing things around. I mean, two coaches that are really, now you're running counter plays. Right here on your low angle view, you'll see, again, a good job of getting out there. And he runs that football, holds it in there tight, well coached.
Well, that helmet comes off. Ahmed Sefiola, who's from Decatur in Southwest DeKalb High School. This is great. He's been brought down with a sack. Number 51, Brian Harris with the stop.
Tennessee State, one thing I can say about, from watching last year and this year, they have been really improved on the defensive line as far as getting pressure on the quarterback.
Gray with the pass, in and out of the hands of Charles Allen.
And that's the second ball that's kind of got away from Allen. Again, I'm very impressed with the decision-making of Gray, with exceptions of when he tries to force the ball. Comprehension of what you're doing is so important at the quarterback position. When that back foot plants, when he makes that plant, he knows where he's going with the football.
3rd and 13 from their own 32. Gray looking to throw. Gets it out there. Almost intercepted. Sefiola there with the stop. Tried to bring it down. And Gray comes off the field as the Rattlers turn the ball over once again. Will have to the TSU Tigers. Just a frustrating day for him so far.
Yeah, and dodging another bullet once again when you think about the fact, ill-advised pass, throwing into double coverage because he's under duress.
Back to kick now, TJ Smith. Last time he had that 66-yarder. Back to receive, Carlos Wright.
That's enough about kickers. Come on, punt. Come on, man.
Here he is. And blocked. Number 6, Marky Stevens comes up with it, and the ball is still loose. Around the 45-yard line, who's got it?
I believe FAMU actually recovered the football, but I can't remember now who gets the ball in a situation like that when the punt is blocked and it goes past the line of scrimmage. Mr. Rules, can you help me?
But did they go far enough for the first down? The Rattlers recovered it, and they get it as the first down. Take another look at Stevens.
See, your specialist takes a little bit too long in getting the punt off. That's why I don't talk about specials. They got all day to kick the ball. But you see at the very tail end, because Tennessee State touches the football, I guess that makes it a live football. And Florida A&M, you see, recovers it right at the very end.
Saw some TSU players with a chance to just fall on it. Looked like they had an idea to want to pick it up. Yeah, they will hear from that from some coaches when they get to the sideline.
One thing they teach, fall on the football. Fall on the football. On Sundays, you take the football and you flick it around, and even then, some coaches get a little skittish.
So the Rattlers are back in business now. 1st and 10 from their own 44. O.J. Marchbanks is stopped.
Penalty, still first down.
Got a procedure penalty, another one on the offense for Florida A&M.
And generally, any time you have a break, like when you think about preseason, you have 3 weeks of training camp going into preseason. Same situations occur where the defenses are always a little bit more advanced than the offenses. 5 penalties for 27 yards now for Florida A&M offensively for the most part.
So they go now 1st and 15 from their own 39. Gray with 2 setbacks. The give is to Lordius, and he doesn't get much up front at all, right in that middle. TSU is there. The Tigers stack it up. One of the people you see in the play is Marcel Goodlow, number 91.
And in that particular situation, Gray actually, the Tennessee State defense, suckered him in, so to speak. They lined up in one formation, and then they brought the linebackers in. He was wanting to pass the ball initially, then turns around, checks it to a run, and he runs right into a run blitz.
2nd and 15 from the 39. Gray looking, throwing, nobody home. Looking for Isaac Brown.
Tennessee State doing a tremendous job of getting pressure on Gray, and Gray, you can see the frustration is just welling up in him. This young man is learning what adversity is about, and we'll see his resilience as the day goes on. But again, good pressure by the Tennessee State front four.
3rd and 15, still from the 39. Gray looking, throwing. This is complete to Allen. He's across midfield and stopped around the 48 of Tennessee State. Ahmed Safiola there on the stop for the Tigers.
And the interesting thing is talking about generalship, offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators. On that particular, if you think about it, Quinn Gray has actually completed 3 passes on 3rd down. All have fallen short. That bend but don't break scenario with the Tennessee State defense, they're basically giving up all the underneath stuff, but they've been short on each one of those receptions by about 2 to 3 yards.
That's it. The timeout on the field right now. 5:08 to go before halftime here at the Georgia Dome. You're watching the Atlanta Football Classic on Fox Sports Net. Will receive at the end. And right now, Tennessee State leading toward that. They're up by a score of 10-0 with 5:08 to go. Of course, you talk about Florida A&M football, you can't start without talking about the legend Alonzo Jake Gaither, who coached this team 25 years and never had a losing season.
The numbers are scary. I mean, you're talking about a legend. He coined the phrase that all coaches, you want to talk about a visionary, agile, mobile, and hostile. And just think about that. Several, 30, 40, 50 years ago, he coined that phrase. And that's exactly what coaches look for in this day and age. Going back to the Jimmy Johnson team, the Dallas Cowboys, Miami Hurricanes, that's what you look for, agile, mobile, and hostile.
That is what he had. Some of his great players, of course, Ken Riley, who now is the athletic director there, Bob Hayes, Willie Gallimore, and some of the fabulous players.
And my mama went to Florida A&M.
All right, got a miscue on the punt. Bad snap, gets away from T.J. Smith. Special team breakdown for Florida A&M, and the Tigers have another break. What happens here, Jamie?
Obviously, the center snapped the ball, and again, the specialist, but that's okay. Excuse me. The specialist dropped the ball on that particular play. Remember when I said 10 minutes before practice and 10 minutes after practice?
Right now, these guys will have trouble getting on the bus with you, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Get the cookies, the coffee, the donuts, and rub my back.
1st and 10 to 38, and here comes Marvin Jones running on the right side for TSU. Levy Brown there with the stop, number 11, leading tackler on this team, has 22 tackles coming into this game and an interception. Led the whole conference, the MEAC, coming into today's ball game.
Generalship once again. Harris going on a quick count, trying to catch the FAMU defense. Just getting in their stance. The defensive line like to get up there, and they like to move around and twitch the one butt muscle and that kind of stuff.
Stays on the ground. There's Jones again. Oh, stopped right about the line of scrimmage. Brown is there on the stop once again for Florida A&M, along with Joe Sanders and number 31, Shedrick Copeland.
And Jones seems like he's a little nicked up. But, you also have to tip your hat to the Florida A&M defense, given the fact that they've been on the field most of the time. And they've actually been pretty resilient, holding, with the exception of that 97-yard drive, done a good job of holding things in place.
That graphic we just saw is just amazing.
Yeah.
The ground game for Tennessee State. Jones going out, and Charles Anthony, the freshman from Orlando, comes in. I don't think they have much of a drop-off with him in the game. 3rd and 3 from the 31 of Florida A&M. Harris looking to throw, got a through, and it's intercepted. Intercepted by Troy Hart across the 40 to the 44-yard line. First mistake we've seen from Shannon Harris in this game, and Troy Hart, the all-MEAC corner for Florida A&M, comes away with the interception.
And more impressive on that play, and we'll see that at the very end. I want you to watch number 75 of BC at the very end of the play doing a good job. You see the interception coming here.
But I want you to watch that offensive lineman, number 75, BC, grab him and give him a little something. Don't think centers aren't athletes too, baby. Slam that guy now. That's what I like.
A little excited for those linemen. Pass, completion. Isaac Brown, the catch from Quinn Gray.
It's one of those things, you know, we're human too. You know, you can give us a cookie also. It's all right.
Well, you earn them when you do things like that.
Yes,
hey,
absolutely.
To take a look at Hart. 2nd and 4 now for the Rattlers.
You could have had more attributes than just Hart. I mean, you know, determined. I mean, I got to talk to you about this lineman thing. You know, they're showing enough love to the boy.
Gray looking, now throwing, now hangs it out there. Nobody there. Oh, man. Jermaine Beal there on the play. Gray taking a shot.
He could have fair caught it.
That one just, the shot put it that one out there.
Well, again, great pressure by the Tennessee State defensive front, and that particular play, Gray decided to pull the ball down, didn't have enough time to go to his 3rd route.
3rd and 4 from midfield. Gray throwing this time behind Allen. Incomplete. And with 3:09 to go before halftime, the Rattlers will kick it away again, and maybe an anxious moment considering what's happened on special teams today with this Florida A&M team.
And you know, Gray and Allen have really had a hard time being in sync, and it's really important when you run a run and shoot style of offense. It's particularly important that you're in sync. I hate that group. My daughter loves it. But you're in sync with your inside slot, because those are the guys that are your bailout guys.
All right, all you NSYNC fans.
Bye-bye. Is that one of their songs?
Oh, yeah. TJ Smith this time gets it away. It's going to bounce and roll. Did they down it? On the 1. 49-yard punt. Something good for the special teams from Florida A&M for a change.
Now, are you sure about that? That's the question of the day. Think about it. The last drive, they had a 97-yard drive. And so now you're 90, and it had the drive in 3 minutes and 39 seconds, mind you, on the ground.
That's true. Television's most unique brand of football commentary airs Sunday with NFL This Morning on Fox Sports Net. This season, football funny man Jay Moore and the rest of the NFL This Morning crew welcome Boomer Esiason to the show that critics call the most unique, groundbreaking, off-the-wall 90 minutes of football news. It's NFL This Morning, tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern on Fox Sports Net. Well, you got some characters on that.
Oh, yeah, and Deacon Jones.
Oh, man.
I mean, I still think he could take him.
He's something. He's a mean guy. Not much doing on first down. Charles Anthony. A host of Rattlers that are turning back.
Good surge, good penetration by the FAMU defense. Again, I mean, I think you really have to tip your hat to the Florida A&M defense when you consider the fact that this defense lost 7 starters from last year and a couple of All-Americans. And one guy was even an academic All-American.
Hey, hey. Trying to get some breathing room to work with right there, Lamar Price. Number 38, bringing the ball out. It's a little bit of working room for Shannon Harris. So we have now less than 2 minutes to go in the first half of this game. Now we got a whistle and a timeout on the field. Of course, with 1:51 to go, fans here at the Georgia Dome watch the first half of this game and getting set for some entertainment. And you know all about this, Jamie. You've been waiting for this all day long.
Oh, yeah.
Stay tuned. Coming up at halftime, one of the best halftime shows of the year.
Come on.
Tennessee State University Aristocrat of Bands and the Marching 100 from Florida A&M. Plus, the Southern Sports Report update from our studio with a preview of the big game coming up tomorrow between the Panthers and Falcons. That will be here in the Georgia Dome as well. It's all coming up at halftime, so stick around. Stay with us.
You know, my lovely wife Angela was an aristocratette.
Oh, my goodness.
You call it one of the the young ladies that kind of had. I didn't know her then.
Okay.
But
I ain't mad at myself.
Yeah, that, and then you have Mom.
That's right, who was in the band, actually. She was in the band, not the 100 at that time. They didn't allow women to be in the Marching 100. But, ironic, 100 black men, the Marching 100, the Florida A&M band, one of the greatest bands of all time, all of bandom.
Bandom?
Bandom.
I think you created something.
Okay, good.
Well, we're telling about the conflict at your house this weekend.
That is correct.
You're surviving.
That is correct. Mama is in the house, and my real mama is in the house.
No doubt about that. 1:51 to go before halftime. TSU with the ball, 3rd and 7 on their own 4. Shannon Harris wants to throw. Just releases it. Throws it behind C.J. Johnson. Incompletion. He had some pressure coming up. Number 31, Shedrick Copeland, was ready to put a hit on him.
Good coaching move by Coach Joe, again, calling that timeout previous to that, so therefore you stop the clock. You know Tennessee State's got to throw the ball for the most part on 3rd down in this situation to try to get the 1st down. So great coaching move that works out.
They'll get the ball back with some time. The question, can they move it into scoring position? Hudak in the back of his own end zone. Not the greatest punt either. But it takes a bounce. That one bounced around the 30, and it will end up around the 42. 38-yard kick for Joey Hudak. Didn't look that good when it started.
Yeah, Hudak's had several fortuitous rolls or bounces, if you would call it that.
Thank you very much, Professor.
Yes.
1:37 to go before halftime. And the Rattlers go back on the attack. For their own 42, 1st and 10. Let's see if they can get in scoring range and get something on the board before halftime. That would be big for this football team.
And watch, the ball's going to come out hot right now. There's a blitz on. 40 down at the bottom of your screen. The ball should come out hot.
Gray with the pass. In and out of the hands of Charles Allen. Had it for a moment. Wasn't able to pull it in.
And again, we talk about Allen and the quarterback, and the guy who played that position last year is the all-time, his name is Nunnally, is the all-time, that means Jerry Rice, too.
Yep, Jaquaid Nunnally.
Jaquaid Nunnally, all-time leading receiver, and they are just having a problem with his inside slot right now.
He was so reliable for Coach Billy Joe in the offense, and now we got a flag on the field once again. Another one against the FAMU offense, it looks like.
Prior to the snap, ball start on the offense, 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
Referee Newman Ramsey gives us the call, and more bad news for the Florida A&M offense.
Yeah, that's Kevin Johnson. That's a funny play that we probably won't get a chance to see. But basically what he did, they had a blitz going. Tennessee State had a blitz on. And so what Johnson does is he sees the guy coming inside. He said, well, maybe I need to tighten my split down a little bit. Well, son, you can't move now.
Oh, man, that is funny. Call it 2nd and 15 now from the 47. Gray throwing, got a receiver out there for Isaac Brown, but they're covering on the play amid Safiula. He covered quickly, got there in time.
And that's one of those plays where the quarterback's got to put the ball on the receiver right now. With that kind of the strong arm that he has, that's one of those plays where you got to drill the ball in there because you got so much float and so much air underneath the football. So that's one you got to put in Gray's pocket.
Gray missing on his last 5 attempts, as it's now 3rd and 15.
I hate to use that group, but he's just not in sync.
Got pressure. Gets rid of it. There's Marchbanks, but he's going nowhere. Stop. Big stop by number 46, Elgin Smith, for Tennessee State.
And 88, Big Daddy Robles, when he was there also, reading the screens. The tackle's responsibilities, defensive tackle's responsibilities is to field the offensive line, letting them go through for screens. Defensive ends' jobs are to get upfield and get the pass rush. But the defensive tackles and the nose tackles, their responsibility is fielding that screen out.
Back on the field now, T.J. Smith to kick it away. We're less than a minute to go in the first half. Wright and Jenkins back to receive. High snap. He gets the kickoff.
Beautiful punt.
And that one will bounce and go into the end zone. 48-yard kick.
we're sitting up here fighting.
No, we're not. Lately, we stand a little taller, sing the national anthem a little louder. Recent events have changed the way we look at things. The 11 Alive News and NBC News will continue to work around the clock to keep you informed with complete and continuing coverage.
You just had to get your network in there, didn't you?
Oh, hey.
You just had to get NBC in there, didn't you?
It's a little bit for everyone at 11 Alive. And a word of thanks to everyone there for helping me
putting up with you.
For putting up with me and also allowed me to be a part of today's telecast. We got a turnover. Do the Rattlers have a break? They need one, and I think they have one, Jamie.
That's right, Rattler football.
Number 96, Chris Thorpe, comes out with that turnover. Kieran Key loses the handle on that thing, and there it is.
Bad quarterback exchange with the running back. Never got the ball tucked into that little pocket or that little pouch that running backs like for you to put the ball in. Please delicately put this in here, sir.
23 seconds to go. The question now, can the Rattlers get on the board? They have the ball on the 22 of Tennessee State. Gray with the pass. Throwing it behind his receiver again, this time DeMar Bowe.
He didn't have these problems last year, obviously, with the veteran guy and Nunnally. And obviously, you're seeing Gray still struggling. You see him pointing to the inside, expecting the receiver to run a slant to the inside. And the one thing you have to do as a quarterback when you lose a guy like Nunnally is you really can't put pressure on your other receivers. Because, this guy just made it so easy for you. He and Gray were really I got to say that, we're in sync. So it's very difficult.
I think it's the headset.
Yeah, it must be.
18 seconds to go. Gray looking, throwing, complete to Allen. Brought down around the 11-yard line. Can they stop the clock? 8 seconds left. Got a whistle and a timeout as the Rattlers try to get on the board here before halftime. What would that mean to this team after all that has gone wrong for them in the first half to still score here just before the break?
Well, again, I mean, there's no question you want to get momentum, and I think that in this particular case, if FAMU could find a way to get, points on the board, I think it would be a big, because what happens, your coach can now come in, and Coach Joe can now come in and give that patent speech, say, guys, you kind of stunk it up today on the first half, but we've got a reprieve. We've got a chance to make something else happen. And the coach can give that positive and leave the locker room positive as opposed to kind of saying, hey, guys, too many penalties, offense, you're stinking it up. You guys got to get your minds right, get things going.
That's what has happened to him thus far, but like you said, getting some points on the board can go a ways to turning some of that around. It is 3rd and 1, but only 8 seconds to go.
End zone or nothing.
Quinn Gray takes the snap, rolling right, shakes defender, wants to get rid of it, but he is brought down. Great defensive play by number 31, Marty Weber. And that will end the first half of play. Not what Coach Billy Joe wants to see. Great defense from this TSU football team and a great running game as well. We're at halftime of the Atlanta Football Classic. Tennessee State in command with a 10-0 lead over Florida A&M. Our halftime show is coming up next. Georgia Dome in Atlanta, where it is halftime. Tennessee State leading Florida A&M by a score of 10-0. And now on the field under the directorship of the professor, Edward Graves, is the Tennessee State University Aristocrat of Bands.
a place where people can come to flee the oppression of evil dictators and other dark forces that would deny them the right to exercise political and religious beliefs. A place where the law will defend their right to practice these beliefs, free from the threat of reprisal or persecution. A place where all people, regardless of race, color, or national origin, can come in fellowship with one another in an atmosphere of peace and freedom, forsaking the idea that they have to perpetrate cowardly deeds of terrorism on the very people that would fight and die for that right of all people. Ladies and gentlemen, this is America. God bless America. Stairway to Heaven by the OJs, conducted by the director of bands, Professor Edward L. Graves.
Tennessee State University aristocrat of bands entertaining here at halftime of the Atlanta Football Classic, where TSU leads Florida A&M.
Atlanta, please be seated. The performance is about to begin. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, from the highest of 7 hills in Tallahassee, Florida, the capital. Please welcome what has not only become known as America's band, but also one of the largest marching bands in the world. The incomparable, magnificent, the #1 band, the fabulous, fantastic Florida A&M University Marching Band. a Southern tradition. The multi-drill enhanced the music of Babyface. Try again, Aaliyah.
Classic. Tennessee State leads Florida A&M 10-0 as we prepare to start the second half. Joining us now in the booth is John T. Grant, the chairman of the Atlanta Football Classic, and might we offer our congratulations on a job well done once again this year.
Well, thank you so much, Sam. This has been an exciting day for us with the 100 Black Men of Atlanta and also with our partners, Florida A&M and Tennessee State. An exciting game. Lots and lots of people here. And I tell you, I was looking outside a moment ago, and they're still coming. That's wonderful.
That's remarkable. You have to feel so much satisfaction for the way the people have embraced this event year after year. They mark the calendars early.
Yes, they do. And it's scheduled every year for the 4th Saturday in September. We already have it locked in for next year also, 4th Saturday in September. Same two teams, Florida A&M and Tennessee State. And, you know, we're looking to build this into one of the largest black college football games in the nation. That's our goal. Black College Super Bowl. That's what we're after.
Not so much the game, to the other events surrounded. There's so much that goes on this weekend.
That is true, and especially today. We are obviously honoring the victims of the tragedy last week. We've made it available for the attendees of the game to make a contribution, which will go to the Red Cross. So, we're trying to do something different. The game itself, the proceeds go to benefit our program's Project Success. And, over the last 13 years of this football classic, we've contributed more than $5 million to our participating schools. So, we're really excited about what we're doing.
You're the chairman of this event. How much sleep have you gotten this week?
I can tell you, last night I slept about 1 hour. And I tell people all the time, as soon as this is over, don't look for me. I'm certainly going to disappear for the next 3 or 4 days. But it's really been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun putting this together, a lot of hard work. All of our members have, when you consider who they are, leaders in their own professions, they put in a lot of time and effort to make this event what it is. And I want to really take my hats off to them.
One more thing. Understand that Georgia Power, your title sponsor, is going to be owned for 3 more years, I believe. With
yes, Georgia Power has signed on with us for a 3-year period. We're really thankful for them for being our title sponsor, and also our other sponsors that have signed up with us: Ford Motor Company, McDonald's, the Coca-Cola Company, Coors Brewing Company, Bank of America, MARTA. The list goes on, and we want to certainly thank all of them. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution, I don't want to leave them out because they're such a strong partner. And, of course, Nokia, our first-year partner, and they're all looking at multiple years with us, and we're really excited about that partnership.
Well, once again, a tip of a hat to you, John T. Grant, the chairman of the Atlanta Football Classic, for a job well done and much success for the future with this event.
Well, thank you. And let me tell you, you and Jamie are doing a wonderful job up here of keeping the fans informed. Calling the play-by-play. Florida A&M, I'm sorry, they need to get a score on the board. If not, I think Tennessee State is going to take this one as they did the first year.
Oh, we've got to see. Rattlers got an explosive offense. We look to see them get going here in the second half.
They do. Thank you, guys. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Great job.
All right, Jay, we start the second half, and there's Mr. Kieran Key, the guy who scored the touchdown for Tennessee State. Nice run off the right side. And the Tigers have come out, start the second half, and going right about their business.
Again, going back to what they did in the first half, being that they ran the football 120 plus yards, rushing the football in the first half, coming out and sustaining a drive once again, not putting the ball in the air, using those legs, using those big offensive linemen that I just so love.
Want to apologize for a power outage that we had there during halftime, and we appreciate our viewers staying with us for the second half of this game. Didn't miss any football action. It's Carlos Wright taking a pitch for TSU, getting it down inside the 20-yard line, down around the 17. And as this happens, Jamie, what do you feel is the feeling here on the Florida A&M sideline? They look to come out and do something good and get the ball back into the hand of their offense in the second half. And Tennessee State's coming right down the field, mixing the pass with the run.
Sudden change, that's what you look for, something to happen defensively. And I tell you, a guy for the Florida A&M defense who's been bringing the wood is Levi Brown, number 11, has just been bringing the thunder. I mean, he had a couple of sticks on this drive that, yes, they're running the football against him, but I tell you what.
He's working.
He is laying the wood.
We're early in the second half of the Atlanta Football Classic. Tennessee State against Florida A&M, and it's been all TSU as they go 3rd and 4 from the 15 of Florida A&M. Their quarterback is Shannon Harris. He's got an excellent day. The toss to the freshman, Charles Anthony. He goes right side. He's at the 10. He's at the 5. He's in for the touchdown. Tennessee State has scored again.
I tell you what, I mean, again, the offensive line, I mean, no run, just like the drive in the first half, 97 yards in the first half on the drive that I don't think they threw a pass. On this particular drive, again, letting the fat boys, the offensive line, get it done up front, putting it mano-a-mano, man on man. I got you, mister.
You love giving props to the big uglies, don't you?
You know, that's one thing. When you run the ball, that means you get to say, you're mine.
199 yards on the ground. Hudak's point after is good. Take a look at the touchdown once again. The freshman, Charles Anthony, 5'10", 185 out of Orlando with the touchdown. The Tigers from Nashville have a 17-0 lead in the Atlanta Football Classic. Back at the Georgia Dome in Atlanta, where Tennessee State has just scored again. That man you're looking at, number 22, Charles Anthony, the freshman, completes the drive, and on the drive he had 6 carries for 60 yards so far in the game today. A 15-yard run sealed it off. 17-0 now. Tennessee State with the lead. 7 plays, 76 yards, 3 minutes and 12 seconds off the clock. Entire drive on the ground. It's the second time we've seen it today as they kick off. Isaac Brown has it. He's at the 20, spins, gets up around the 25. He's knocked down around the 26-yard line. Lamar Price in on the play for Tennessee State. Now what do we see, Jamie, as Florida A&M comes back on the field on offense. Shaky performance in the first half from Quinn Gray. You got to get some confidence with this guy. You're down 17-0.
I think Coach Joe, what he does, he puts him in a situation where you go back to the basics. I mean, obviously, offensive line struggling a little bit, and not so much the offensive line. They're just bringing more bodies. Tennessee State, tremendous game plan. Again, you see guys walking up in there. There's 9 guys in the box right now.
Got a whistle, got some movement.
And in the first half, I believe there was 5 penalties for 27 yards, of which most of them were on the offense. And here you have another procedure penalty. That's the 7th penalty for FAMU, and most of it's been on the offensive side of the ball.
Number 73, Kevin Johnson, the culprit that time. And they'll make it 1st and 15 from the 22. Quinn Gray and the Rattlers trying to get untracked here in the second half. Get the offense moving and try to get on the board. He's looking, throwing, complete. The catch by Isaac Brown. Number 21, Eric Joyce in on the stop.
And a great read by the quarterback. You see Brown here. does a quick slant. But what happens on that particular play is Gray recognized that there's a blitz. Inside slot goes in motion. The defender does not go. That means the ball is hot. That means he's coming. Again, good execution, good comprehension of what is going on.
2nd and 6. Gray keeps up across the 35, knocked down around the 37-yard line. Close to first down yardage.
To add to what Coach Joe might do, I think clearly what he's going to do is open up the game. He's going to open it up, tell the offense, guys, you got to suck it up. You got to make some plays. Receiver, you got to catch the ball. Everybody's got to get on one accord. I mean, they've got to get on one accord with the quarterback, knowing what you're doing. And sometimes that's difficult when you consider the fact that, last year Gray really just kind of honed in on Nunnally. And so that was a guy who had 120 or 130. As a matter of fact, I think he had 10,000 catches last year.
So it's 1st and 10 now from the 38. Gray got the first down. Give us to Marchbanks. He's knocked down. Big time. Your man, Danny Robertson's there. Number 88, making a stop. You like this guy.
Big Danny's had a real good game. And he's got that bounce too. That's what you like about defensive linemen. See him right there beating a double team, getting right into the backfield. And the beauty of it is, like I said, when those guys make plays, they got that bounce. Tell your mama you did it. Yeah, it's me. Get away from me so everybody can see me. I mean, it's important you make sure your numbers are shown when you make a play.
6'6", 275, senior from Detroit, Michigan. 2nd and 14 from the 34, the Rattlers. Gray looking, throwing, complete. Hanging on to it. We're right about the line of scrimmage as Charles Allen didn't get much out of that one. Deion Giddings there on the stop.
You talk about the tit for tat, as far as coordinator, offense, defense. Again, here's that Generals game once again. Blitz a guy, knowing that Gray's going to throw the hot route. The hot route, it's 2nd and 14, so the hot route's only going for 6 yards. So it's a good move by the Tennessee State defense to go ahead and blitz in long situations.
Allen's 5th catch of the day for 42 yards. 3rd and 9 from the 39. Gray is looking to throw again. Pass complete. Catch by Isaac Brown, and he's got the first down for the Rattlers.
And they better make sure that ball's not glued to Brown's chest, because we could hear it all the way up here. The pop on that football, just delivering a strike right there. Good throw and catch.
17-yard pickup, and here's what he did last season. 41 receptions, over 400 yards, and the 4 touchdowns. A key contributor. Kelsey Lordius now in the backfield for Florida A&M as they go 1st and 10 from the 44 of Tennessee State. Gray, the toss, Lordius drops it, picks it up, and there he goes across the 40. He's at the 30, picks up another first down for Florida A&M. Oops.
I'd like to see him do that 3 times in a row. I mean, you want to talk about the perfect bounce again, running the option. Good job bringing the defender inside. Bounces right. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Father.
17-yard pickup. Marquis Stevens, number 6, hit on the stop for TSU. Rattlers moving, Jamie. 1st and 10 now on the 27 of Tennessee State. Gray, handoff to Marchbanks. He's got running room at the 20. Across the 20, down inside the 20 to the 17-yard line. Goes O.J. Marchbanks, one of 3 seniors that run out of the backfield for Florida A&M. 6'1", 230-pounder from Santa Rosa, California.
And the thing I like about him is he picks his feet up in the hole. That's the one thing he does is, he's got a good low center of gravity, but he picks his feet up when defenders get down by his legs, which allow them to miss the tackle.
2nd and 1 on the 18. Gray looking, there's the pass inside. Lordius at the 10. 5 knocked down just short of the 5-yard line. Marking at the 6. Deion Giddings in with the stop. And this Florida A&M drive has been very impressive, Jamie. 13-yard pickup there.
I told you the general, he's not going to be outdone. General Joe upstairs, he's seeing what's going on, and what they do is run the old shovel pass, and a good vision by the running back, being able to cut it back against the grain. Good football.
1st and goal from the 6. 2 running backs behind. Quinn Gray on the option. The pitch, that's Lordius at the 5. He's in for the touchdown for Florida A&M. Kelsey Lordius, the senior from Miami. And the Rattlers are on the board.
And now all of a sudden you see a swagger on Gray's part coming off the field. Got a little bounce in his stride, got a little hitch in his giddy up, got a little, well, I won't say that.
It helps a lot, though, to come out the first time you touch the ball in the second half and go down the field.
No question about it. Take some of the pressure off your defense, because still to this point, you know, with the exception of the last drive, Florida A&M's defense has played a tremendous game. Tennessee State's offensive line has, in spurts, really just dominated the front line of scrimmage.
The point after by Vasquez is good. Florida A&M doing it on the ground. Kelsey Lordius with the touchdown. The Rattlers trailed. Tennessee State leads at 17-7. You're watching the Atlanta Football Classic on Fox Sports Net. Lordius, the senior from Miami, completed this drive, and he played a big role in this drive.
No question about it. And that drive, much like the Tennessee State drive, a lot of running of the football. You saw that there was a big third down reception early in the drive, but for the most part, it's the running game. It's the legs, you know, settling things down. And FAMU is in this ball game.
Indeed they are. Handing the kickoff now for Florida A&M is number 50, Lennon Nesbitt. And back to receivers, number 18, Patrick Jenkins. Jenkins across the 20. Stops right across the 25 at the 27-yard line.
Open your eyes, son. I think he ran right in the back of his own man.
He was moving pretty good.
I think he ran right in the back of his own guy. He had a couple of blockers there, got good blockers in front of him, and literally just ran right into the back of the guy.
Curious to see now how Coach Reese and the Tigers respond to the Florida A&M drive. Here is Shannon Harris. His numbers so far, 7 of 18, 41 through the air and 1 interception, but he's also done a lot of damage on the ground when he's been able to run the football. 1st and 10, they go from the 28-yard line. The handoff, there's Charles Anthony. Up across the 30, gets it up to around the 32-yard line.
And again, something I touched on in the first half, talking about why success in the running game. These are two passing teams. We talked about it early on. We were expecting an aerial assault by both teams. And what you saw is everybody was prepared for the passing part of the game. It was the run part of the game that has really come through. And that's one of those things where, again, I talked about linemen. When you're going to pass the ball a lot, you're going to have your legs tighter and you're looking to penetrate into the backfield. But when you're looking at a run situation, then you widen those bases out.
Alex forcing in on the stop on that play. 2nd and 7. Here's Harris rolling, throwing. It was a little too high. He's trying to go for Ron Jackson there. Sequan Dow defending for Florida A&M on the play.
Dow's been active today. I want him to do another one of those flips when he makes a play, though. That was exciting. You know, imagine, I'm thinking about, you know, see, you always want to see stuff that you know there is no way in the world you can do.
I know. You're going to appreciate that.
I couldn't do a flip inside the water in a pool. You know, the water get in my nose, and I get head, you know, I just get all blocked up.
Not a good sight.
I wish I was an athlete.
You do that. Oh, no, listen to you. Yeah, right.
No. I played football. I never claimed to be an athlete. I can't do that, man.
We'll have to phone Dr. Bowden down in Tallahassee and ask him about that.
He's licking his wounds right now. I got a call.
I got a call. Oh, man. Got a whistle and a timeout. Shannon Harris didn't like something he saw, and he wants to talk about it. And while they take a timeout, we'll take one as well. 6:42 remaining in the third period here at the Georgia Dome in Atlanta. Tennessee State leads Florida A&M 17-7 in the Atlanta Football Classic. Of Fox Sports, she has these thoughts on her alma mater.
My experience there and just having that wonderful support system at Florida A&M really set me up for the success I'm enjoying today. I was able to do some things that actually prepared me for what I'm doing now, from being sports editor at the FAMU, from working in the sports information office, which gave me access to the football teams and the baseball teams, and it really prepared me in a lot of ways for what I'm dealing with now weekly with football in particular, and it was just a great experience, and I treasure those times there and the friends that I've made and the friends that I'm still in contact with, and we just have excellent memories of being at Florida A&M.
Some great thoughts from Pam Oliver, who was wearing school colors, by the way.
You know, and also, Pam, I got a message for Dr. Humphreys. Send a little more of that check.
Oh, now I wasn't going to say that, Pam, but Jamie said. A fabulous university there, Florida A&M, and of course, Time Magazine's College of the Year a few years back, and an impressive campus when you go to visit it.
And the thing is, having attended Florida State University, had a great opportunity. I spent a lot of time over there at FAM. Spent a lot of time watching the band at the patch, where they worked out, and so it's just it was a great experience for me. I feel as though I attended FSU and FAM.
That's the Tallahassee experience, folks. 1st and 10 from the 41. The give is to Charles Anthony, and he is stopped in the secondary. First man there, number 5, Alex Sportson. And speaking of Pam Oliver, you can catch her on the Southern Sports Report nightly at 10 p.m. Eastern. It's 30 minutes of nightly sports news completely dedicated to the home teams throughout the South.
Shouldn't we throw fair and balanced in there? Well, that's the other Fox. I'm sorry. That's Fox News. I'm sorry. Fair and balanced.
She's all set to be a part of NFL coverage tomorrow.
She does a tremendous job, and that's the thing about the players have so much respect for Pam. She's really done a tremendous job for herself and for FAMU University.
Yes, she has. One that the alma mater can be quite proud of. Completion there from Harris to Patrick Jenkins. Ball across the 40 to the 44-yard line. Tennessee State is moving once again.
You got a chance to see the kind of arm that Harris has. I mean, really just firing the ball in there. Both quarterbacks have what I call real hot arm, where the ball seems like it just jumps out at you.
At the 5-minute mark of the 3rd period, here's Harris. Had pressure, hangs it out there just a little too long for number 10, Batavia Weldon.
FAMU getting a little aggressive defensively. Last couple of plays, they're starting to blitz, starting to show something different. I love to see when coaches go at it. People say, well, players play. No, the coaches play also, because they can make a profound impact on what happens during the game. When you consider the fact that both teams kind of running no-huddle offenses, it's nice to see that they can find a way to infuse in there what they want to do.
Hudak is back to punt for Tennessee State and back to receive. It's Levy Brown. Hudak hangs that one up there. And it's going to bounce and roll. Inside the 10, down to around the 7-yard line, 49 yards on that kick. And that is where the Rattlers will start this next offensive possession. What do you think we might see this time from Florida? And we saw the run mixed in a little more with a lot of success last time.
I think you'll continue to see that. I think you'll see more option. I think you'll see more plays off the option types of things, being the shovel passes, counter plays. Also, I think they're going to go up top here and go for the long one here in a minute. Let that big old gun that Gray has get loose. They've been holding the big dog down a little bit.
We'll see what happens as he starts this drive from his own 8-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Rattlers, and here's Quinn Gray.
And then they're in there what I call the hog molly formation. They don't have tight ends. Okay, these are tackles lined up in the tight end slots, guys.
Gives to the first man through. That's O.J. Marchbanks right up the middle. Looks like he may have picked up a couple.
Yeah, Coach Joe going with something different, bringing in, again, because this offense, I don't believe they actually have a tight end on scholarship at Florida A&M University. Coach thinking if you're going to put a tight end there to block, why not have somebody who does it better, an offensive lineman?
That's it. That's exactly his philosophy. But he did say he has a lot of confidence in the running back. He has 3 seniors. We haven't seen Travis Williams much, but he has 3 senior running backs, and he's found ways to use them to give his offense some balance and give the opposition some different looks. Here's Gray rolling and throwing, trying to hit a receiver out there, and incomplete, trying to hook up with Marco Junius. That's a name we haven't heard for a good while in this game. Once he made the big catch in the very first play from scrimmage.
And really have not heard him, as you say, anytime since then. But again, I thought they were going to go up top. I thought they were going to make a play. Obviously having this formation, then you see the big guy starting to come off the field right now, moving towards going back to that wide open offense with 3 receivers and 4 receivers set.
Deion Gittins defending on the play for Tennessee State. 3rd and 8 now from the 10 of Florida A&M. Gray throwing. That's Isaac Brown. He's knocked down around the 15-yard line. And once again, Gray gets a completion on third down, but not enough for the first.
Yeah, no question about it. He again, knows what he's going to do. Bend but don't break. Tennessee State doing a good job of giving them the underneath stuff, but making sure they keep everything in front of them. Don't allow the guy to get deep. And once again, it is 4th down and 2 or 3 yards.
T.J. Smith in the punt. He had some misadventures in the first half. Back to receive Patrick Jenkins along with Carlos Wright. It's a nice snap. Gets the punt off. Wright takes it at midfield, and he's going to be brought down right there.
Good defensive stand for the Tennessee State defense, and now gives their offense an opportunity to come right back at them.
Jamie, we mentioned Pam Oliver being an alumnus of Florida A&M. They have some great baseball alums like this guy, Marquise Grissom, who's having a great season for the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Vince Coleman, great player for many years.
Hal McRae, great Florida A&M product, and of course, yeah,
the Hawk.
Oh, was he something? Andre Dawson.
Now you want to see a ball jump off a bat.
That's an incredible player and a future Hall of Famer, I would say. Andre Dawson is out of Florida A&M. Charles Anthony on the carry. The freshman from Orlando still carrying it for Tennessee State.
And this little guy's got a little pop to him also. I mean, you know, when he runs down with his pads down low, but, you know, he'll deliver a little blow to you if you let him. You see he's got a boomerang on his arm or something.
Yeah, what is that?
I guess a cast. I think he broke his arm or got a broken bone.
I don't know.
Nice weapon.
It possibly.
Get stiff arm with that.
2nd and 4, and here he comes again. And taking a receiver, taking a defender up the field with him there. Shedrick Copeland holding on to him, and he takes him across the 40, inside the 40 for first down yardage.
And watch what he's holding on to. Tennessee State coming off the ball, but at the very end, you're going to see him grab that cast we talk about. Hey, I don't care if it's hurting you or not. Give me something to grab. That's funny.
Let's see where they mark it. Looks close to first down yardage. Close enough for them to measure. Anthony has 10 carries for 67 yards and that touchdown. And so he's been very productive for this Tennessee State offense.
And he's got a good little, you know, he's got a little gait to him. That's what I really like about him. Good vision, does a lot of cutting back against the grain. You know, and again, much like Double Deuce out in the for the Dallas Cowboys, Emmitt Smith. The one thing about Emmitt is Emmitt had such great vision, or has such great vision, that he can see everything, and he's a smart running back.
When you talk about teams that are winners in Division I AA nationally, we have 2 of them on the field today. I mean, Yale has a high winning percentage. We look at Florida A&M, Grambling, of course, Dr. Robinson there for many years, and Tennessee State. Highly successful programs.
Amazing.
First and 10 from the 39. Here's Charles Anthony again. He's at the 30. Across the 25, going deeper into Florida A&M territory. But we got a penalty flag. I think this might be coming back, Jamie.
I think it is. I think it is. Watch his visions. Sucks the defenders inside and then bounces it outside. I mean, again, the parallels between he and Emmitt, it is so funny to watch these guys run. Watch the style, you know, and Emmitt being a Florida guy, being a lizard, that being a gator.
You would say that.
He's a lizard, a gator. You know, yeah. Obviously he's had a chance to watch him.
Yeah. I'm sure Emmitt's probably laughing about that score from your alma mater today.
Yeah. That is 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Repeat first down.
Got a hole on Kayron Key, the fullback, number 41. That's going to bring it back. It'll be 1st and 13 now. From the 42 of Florida A&M. Harris looks to throw. Got a receiver out there. Just knocked away. Great defensive play by Shaquan Dow, the senior from Brooklyn, knocking the pass away intended for Ron Jackson.
And Harris actually misread the route. A good push off there. And a great play at the end, laying it out there, diving. But on the other side of the field, Johnson was wide open. I mean, literally, it was a busted coverage. Harris came up front on the corner, and it was a busted cover, and Johnson was wide open.
Once again, it's Shaquan Dow doing an impressive move there at the end. He just slid a layout there. Then he didn't do the forward roller. He didn't finish it off.
Fosbury flop.
Yeah. And off this time to Anthony, up to around the 40-yard line. He's knocked down there. Brown in on the stop, along with Alex Sportson. Welcome everyone to the Georgia Dome in Atlanta. We're here for the Atlanta Football Classic featuring Tennessee State and Florida A&M. Less than 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Sam Crenshaw along with Jamie Dukes. Tennessee State leading 17-7. It's the quarterback, Shannon Harris, looking, throwing. That's complete. C.J. Johnson down to around the 20-yard line. Troy Hart defending for Florida A&M. A 20-yard pickup for TSU.
Again, great play calling by Coach James Reese, the offensive coordinator and head coach of the Tennessee State Tigers. Good job of reading. Harris steps back, calls an under route, does a good job of firing the ball across. And that, I mean, what is this? I mean, Coach Reese has got a cast on his arm. What's going on up there? Is it an epidemic or something?
Listen, if you're running back with Tennessee State, past or present. Charles Anthony knocked down. Great pursuit there. And leading the way once again, number 5, Alex Fortson, 75, Kudia Morris for Florida A&M.
Looking at these teams move the ball again, the offensive line doing a tremendous job of coming off the ball, maintaining the line of scrimmage, controlling the line of scrimmage at times, giving the quarterback time to do what he's got to do, and leading the way for the running backs.
Less than a minute to go here in the third period. And Tennessee State now over 200 yards rushing, 213 for the day. See some of the various representatives from the college. Queens. Here's Harris with the pass, complete, and a great open field stop by Troy Hart. He lets Ron Jackson go. You know where he's headed.
It's called 6, not touchdown, 6. You know, because, I mean, he was going to get by him and take it to the house and do a dance and the whole thing. Great open field tackle, but probably the third or fourth tackle. These cornerbacks for Florida A&M have done a great job, again, of playing man-to-man coverage and really still keeping Harris under 300 yards for the day.
And, Jamie, that's the final play of the third period. 1 quarter to go here from the Georgia Dome in Atlanta in the Georgia Power Atlanta Football Classic. It's Tennessee State with the lead by a score of 17-7 because of that man, Charles Anthony. And Florida A&M gets on the board as well. 4 quarters coming up when we come back to the Georgia Dome in Atlanta. Florida A&M, and as we pick things up, Tigers are driving 3rd and 6 on the Florida A&M 16, and this is Shannon Harris looking, and boy, had to duck quickly. Carlos Moore, number 24, in there quickly.
Once again, the blitz, okay, FAMU defense, you know, trying to turn up the pressure, needing a big stop, because the thing is, they want to keep it to within 2 touchdowns here, and now putting Tennessee State in a situation where they can kick a field goal is much better than being down 3 scores.
Joey Hudak is on to attempt the field goal, which will be a 27-yard attempt, make it a 37-yard attempt, and it's on the way. It's good. Tag on 3 more for the Tigers of Tennessee State. 20-7 to score down.
tell you what, it's a good kick. But again, very important that the FAMU defense hold Tennessee State to 2 scores, because they find themselves here in the 4th quarter. If they go in, score a touchdown, it's virtually impossible to come back and put up 3 scores in a limited amount of time, especially when you consider the fact that Tennessee State has had tremendous success moving the football.
That said, early in the 4th quarter now, we're down 2 touchdowns. Can you stick with a game plan that features the run, or do you have to come out and start flinging it? It's too early for that.
No, I think you still can. With 14 minutes left in the game, really basically the whole quarter still remaining. You saw their coach Clifton Moore there doing a great job as defense coordinator. I think you have time because you can run the ball. They run the option. FAMU's got the capabilities of big plays. You know, they can eat up sizable chunks of yardage. So I think they're still in a situation where they can run the football and make things happen equally offensively, throwing the ball and running the football.
Well, they're about to get the ball back. Hudak getting set to kick it off. And back to receive for Florida A&M. Number 2, Isaac Brown, and number 8, E.J. Collier. Collier, interesting story, a 3rd-generation Rattler. His grandfather played for Jake Gaither, and his father played for Rudy Hubbard in the 80s. And here he is now, 3rd-generation Rattler. Back to receive this kick. Looks like it's coming down to Brown. Takes it at a 17, up across the 20, 30, got some running room. Up to around the 38, 40-yard line. Nice return for Isaac Brown, who's averaging over 22 yards per return on kickoffs.
Going back to your question about can they run the football, even now it makes it even more important for them to actually run a bounce tap, because they do have good field position. The success of the passing game has come because of the success that they've had in the running game here in the 2nd half. So it would be vital that they continue to try to run the football and establish a balanced attack.
They open this series with 2 setbacks in the backfield with Quinn Gray. Marchbanks and Lordius as they go 1st and 10 from their own 40. Gray looking to throw the pass, knocked away. Great defensive play by number 21, Eric Joyce.
And Eric could have had a bigger play right here. You're going to see, look for the football. Eric doesn't look for the football. He can take that ball and take it to the house. That was your money, Eric. I mean, you could have been a household name.
And look at this guy. Didn't get to play all last season. He's come on and started out the season great. All-American candidate, All-OVC candidate, Eric Joyce. 2nd and 10 from the 40. There's the toss inside to Marchbanks. Boy, he doesn't find much. May have gotten 1.
Good pressure by the TSU defense. How, you know, it's so important that there's 6 inches of real estate that is so important right there at the line of scrimmage. That being who's going to get into whose backfield, whether it be offensive line getting into the defense's backfield or the other way around. But whoever captures that space, they're going to have the success on the play.
Jermaine Beal in on the stop for TSU. It is 3rd and 9. Gray throws it out there. Intercepted. And steps out of bounds. Ahmed Safiolo from Decatur, Georgia, southwest DeKalb High School. I think Coach Godfrey might be a little proud of that fella, huh?
Well, I don't think there's any question he's proud of it. But on that particular play, the receiver basically quits on the play. Isaac Brown doesn't continue out to run the route, because if nothing else, he can go and make a play and push the ball out of bounds. So there's a situation where quarterback throws an interception, but it's just as much the receiver's fault, because he should have gone up and batted the ball down if he continued to run the route. And I think that's where it goes back to inexperience at the receiver position potentially being one of the problems that Gray is facing.
3rd INT for Quinn Gray today as Tennessee State goes back on offense. There's Charles Anthony up across the 35, up to around the 38-yard line. As we take a look at what has transpired here thus far, you see the score. We talked about the quarterbacks before things started, but TSU 214 yards on the ground. You see what Harris has done both through the air and on the ground. Gray, those 3 interceptions.
And you know what, Coach Reese being a running back, you know he's just happy. I mean, he is just happy. Yeah, let's run that route.
2nd and 6 from the 37. The pass complete to Kieran Key, and the big fullback's moving across the 50. Hard to bring down. It took the whole secondary to bring that guy down. You like that cat. I know you love to see that cat running.
The human bowling ball. That's exactly what he is. 22-yard scamper.
And watch for K-Ron Key, all 5'10", 230 pounds of him.
And right at the end of the play, I want you to see Troy Hart. Oh my goodness. Oh no, not him. Here he comes. You see Troy. Hang on, Troy. It's going to be all right. The cavalry's coming. Troy didn't want any part of that.
Big play for the fullback. Most fullbacks like to get those passes out of the backfield like that. First and 10 from the 41 of Florida A&M. TSU on the move again. Harris looking, throwing, got a receiver out there, but could not connect with Ron Jackson, number 17.
And going back to Key for a moment, the thing about him, I mean, he really reminds me of kind of a Mike Allstott type, you know, stocky, squatty guy who's more than just a blocking fullback. The guy can run with the football, do something with it. Bob Christian, another guy with the Atlanta Falcons, not just a blocking fullback, a guy that can do something with the ball when he gets it in his hands. And the hairdo, well, we'll talk about that dude. I mean, I guess that's the Medusa cut there. You see how the ends are kind of hanging up there? Look at the little serpents and the little snakes.
Wonder how long it take to get there.
Wow.
Second and 10 from the 41. Toss to Anthony. And he is stacked up. The Rattlers are there in force to stop him that time. Stephen Brown in on the play. Also Shedrick Copeland's there.
Coach Moore calling a run blitz on that play, getting defense into the backfield, moving the defensive line around a little bit instead of being stationary, two-gapping, reading, giving his defense another look. Good work.
Makes it 3rd and 14 from the 45 of Florida A&M. This is a big play for the Florida A&M defense. They want to stop him here and get the ball back.
You can expect the blitz again.
Play clock running down to 2-1. They get the snap off. Here's Harris looking, throwing. He's looking for Johnson. He makes the catch. Does he have it? They call it a completion. He and Sequan Dow came down with that ball at the same time. A reception for C.J. Johnson, the sophomore from Nashville. 39-yard pickup.
Blitz comes from the backside. Great throw. This is the type of arm we're talking about. And again, you can't ask your defender to be in any better position than that. Great play by C.J. Johnson.
And they call him Snoop. Making the catch, and once again, the TSU Tigers are knocking on the door. 1st and goal from the 6. Fakes the handoff. Harris looking, tossing, complete. The catch by Lamar Price. Touchdown, Tennessee State.
Great play call by Coach Reese. They go to the power I set and run a play action, and actually there's 2 guys open. Something, again, that FAMU defense, being a young defense, has not seen. Again, great play calling by Coach Reese.
6 more for TSU. Joey Hudak on to add the point after. And it's good. The Tigers are having things all their way in a big party here in the Georgia Dome. We got 10:48 to go in the 3rd period, and Tennessee State has a 27-7 lead in Florida A&M. Got a flag on the play. Let's see what the call is.
Roughing the kicker, it seems.
It should be assessed perhaps on the kickoff. There's a timeout on the field. We will take one as well. Take a look at this play, resulting in a touchdown pass to Lamar Price. The Tigers are leading at 27-7. We're coming back to the Georgia Dome after this. It's the Atlanta Football Classic, and Tennessee State's up 27-7. And joining me now is the president of Florida A&M University, Dr. Frederick S. Humphreys. Dr. Humphreys, You are leaving your post after this school year. You've done a fantastic job at Florida A&M. Speak about your time there.
It's been a very exciting time for me to be president of Florida A&M University, but I've been a president now for 27 years, 10 and a half at Tennessee State and 16 and a half at Florida A&M, and that's a long time to be a president. So I've enjoyed my work at Florida A&M University. I mean, we've done some exciting things, and I'm very proud of our accomplishments, and I'd like to go and do something less stressful and stringent for the rest of my professional life.
But when you're so good at it, and that's the thing about it, you've done it so very well, doing it, like you said, at Tennessee State and at Florida A&M. Of course, it means more to you probably at Florida A&M because you are an alumnus.
I'm a graduate of Florida A&M, and yeah, and it was intensely rewarding to be able to do, create some good programs like the Life Gets Better, create the Distinguished Scholarship Program, and increase the number of kids going on to graduate school with the Project Image and our graduate feeder program, and now we're the largest producer of African American baccalaureate in the world, and we've been that for the last 5 or 6 years, and so those are rewarding things, and we've grown the university from about 5,000 students to now well over 12,000 students, and we're on our way we are now the largest single campus black college in America, and we're on our way to being the largest black college in America. Okay, so we have great potential, and it's a good time to do these things and to be leaving.
So you're talking about how you rank among HBCUs, but just several years ago, Time Magazine named you the College of the Year period among all colleges in this country.
That was an exciting moment for us at the university when Time Magazine Princeton Review picked FAMU in competition with some of the better institutions in America, Trinity College, DePaul, University of California, Los Angeles, and from among those institutions, they picked us as the college of the year, and that meant that the kind of things that we were doing there were equal or more exciting than anybody else in the country, and that was a great moment. And if you come to our campus, we got that. We got that all over the campus, right? College of the Year in 1997. That was a great year for us.
Well, you should. Not everybody gets to do that. As you leave, what are your hopes for your future, for this university as you leave? What would you like to see continue?
Well, I want to see FAMU continuous growth. In fact, those two teams that are playing out there on the field, those two schools represent some very outstanding and exciting historical black colleges. And I would like to see them continue to be two of the best in America, and I think they will. And I think FAMU will continue the growth that we have, the growth course that we've been on, and I think they're going to pick an exciting new president, and he's going to provide, or she's going to provide the leadership to carry the school on further, because we have great momentum, right? I mean, whoever comes got to prepare for the momentum and the dynamism of Florida, and we have great momentum, and it's got a great interest on the part of people that come and be a part of the institution, and I just think that there's a lot of great future for Florida A&M going forward.
Well, Dr. Frederick Humphreys, we thank you for coming by and spending some time with us. I know the 100 black men appreciate your efforts. We thank you for all you've done for Florida A&M and for education and for all the things you're going to continue to do. Have a feeling we haven't heard the last few.
Absolutely not. I'm going to try to do my best to do something else and let you hear about me, okay?
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
That is Dr. Frederick Humphreys, the president of Florida A&M, who is retiring at the end of this school year after a very, very dynamic tenure as president in Tallahassee. Like you said, Jamie, he served as president of both of these universities here today, but I guess being in Tallahassee, a little something special for him since he is an alum.
Oh, no question about it. Again, having, like I said, I was down there when he first got to Florida A&M University, and just to see, talking about they have the only wireless, or not the only, but they have a wireless network there where the students can pull out their laptops anywhere on campus and, and be online, be on the internet. That was something I guess they wouldn't do when I was in school. They didn't give us laptops and stuff like that, but that's okay.
No, they're still working with Abacus.
Yeah. Lemuel Adams in at quarterback.
We made a change. Lemuel Adams, the senior out of Sacramento, California, Washington State transfer. He's come in. He's just got 1 year really to play. And I tell you what, we could see a shakeup with this Florida A&M team that may go into next week. You know, Coach Billy Joe is not satisfied with what he's seen from Quinn Gray. Here's Adams rolling, throwing, and completing. Catch by Charles Allen. Out of bounds at the 23-yard line of Tennessee State. One thing we can say, Adams has his team moving right now.
No question about it. Come in, different look. Again, Coach Joe is actually on the sidelines as well, coming down from the booth to really rally his troops.
If I'm playing for Florida A&M, I don't know if I want to see that or not.
You know, we had talked about that. You know, Coach, how do you have that? If things aren't going well, how do you have that eye-to-eye with a player? He said that's one of the drawbacks, one of the things that you have to give up, coaching up there in the booth.
As Marchbanks gets it up to around the 20-yard line. In on the stop there. Number 52, Jermaine Beal. He's had an outstanding game.
And you talk about, you know, many coaches say, well, you know, how can you coach from the booth and not be down there on the field? But success, you know, speaks for itself. 3 division championships and the 3 second-place finishes over the last 6 years.
And here goes Adams. He's at the 20, still going around the 15, and he's going to be hauled down there. Number 40, Walter Reese, the all-OVC linebacker, the senior from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Had 12 tackles against Alabama A&M, making a big stop right there. But Adams showing you a little something there, too. When he can't find the receiver, still making something happen.
Pick him up, put him down, can run the football. He's a guy that's very versatile, but when you look at his arm, got good arm strength, still doesn't have quite the strength of Gray, but very proficient quarterback.
3rd and 2 from the 15. Adams got pressure coming from the backside. And they're going to bring him down. That's Reese once again. Number 40 making the stop for TSU.
Great play calling again by Tennessee State's defensive coordinating crew. There's a blitz coming off the backside. And you see Adams right here at the end just not having enough time to pick up the. Look at that, Walter Reese right there. Good looking kid, man.
Tough guy. The top tackle is one of 13 children.
Wow.
You move fast at dinner time.
Wow. Wow. That's
going on 4th down and 4. Adams looking, throwing. Did Allen get it? And is it enough for the first? He's got it. The drive continues. Take a look at that.
Right at the bottom, to get his hand underneath the ball. Yes, he did.
That's tight. That's tight. That's tight. You know.
The key is his hand is underneath the football.
Here's Adams going to keep. He's up around the 5. He's going to stop him about the 6-yard line. He's got this team moving, Jamie. The thing that they're competing against now, obviously, is the clock.
No question about it. How much longer can you afford to put the ball on the ground? But I think, you know, in a lot of cases when coaches bring other players in, he wants to see what his guy's going to do in normal situations, per se. And so what you will do is you will run offensive plays that really fit his style of play. And this kid can run the football, probably a more fluid running back or a runner of the football than Gray.
2nd and 6. Glorious across the 5, inside the 5, down to around the 3-yard line. Jermaine Beal making another stop.
He's had a tremendous day, doing a good job inside, clogging that middle up. I mean, a tremendous football player. You know, you see Big Daddy's down there also, number 88. He's a guy that's made some plays and been on the field. Tremendous football game. This is going to be a tremendous victory for Tennessee State and Coach Reese.
Approaching the 4-minute mark. Adams looking, throwing. Allen didn't know it was coming.
Again, same situation. For some reason, Allen has not kind of been on the same page with both quarterbacks now. Situation where, again, you have a guy in Jacquay Nunley who was an All-American, a guy who had more receptions. I don't think it's more receptions than Jerry Rice.
That's something.
That's
incredible.
Yeah, that is. I mean,
that's just phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, you think about that. Back down in Mississippi Valley State. That was the most incredible offensive juggernaut
that
goodness. This nation has ever seen.
Archie Cooley, the gunslinger.
Yeah.
4th down again. Adams, the throw, pass knocked away. Defensive play by number 6, Marquise Stevens, in the end zone to knock the ball away and stop the Florida A&M drive.
See the fans having a good time celebrating, the Tennessee State fans.
Tennessee State has done it all just about here today. They get set for their next game, which is Southeast Missouri State. And there you see Coach Reese, who has to be pleased with what he's seen from his team today. 3-week layoff, apparently not too bad for this crew. We got 4:02 left in Atlanta Football Classic. Tennessee State large and in charge. 27-7 lead with just over 4 minutes to go in Atlanta Football Classic. Television's most unique brand of football commentary airs Sunday with NFL This Morning on Fox Sports Net. This season, football funny man Jay Moore and the rest of the NFL This Morning crew welcome Boomer Esiason to the show that critics call the most unique, groundbreaking, off-the-wall 90 minutes of football news. It's NFL This Morning, tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Eastern on Fox Sports Net.
We got to get that Moore some counseling, man. He's something else, boy.
Hey, the whole group, you mentioned Deacon Jones earlier, man. You got him in the mix. So you hear some of the stories, the way Deacon says the way they played back in the 60s. Oh, man.
I wonder how many sacks he really had.
You know?
I mean, it could be 200.
You really don't know.
Could be 200 because for those who don't know, they did not record the sack, but Deacon Jones is the person who actually coined the phrase sack.
And they started keeping a record.
That's right, because he said, go back there and I grab him and I just sock him. Just sock him. You stuff a potato in his mouth. I mean, what do you? I just sock him. He couldn't think of any other word than that. I mean, sock him.
David Deacon Jones, Hall of Famer, also a part of the legacy of historically black college football, playing at South Carolina State and Mississippi Valley. And of course, Hall of Famer with the Rams and that fearsome force.
Wow.
It's something to watch.
Merlin Olsen.
Oh, yeah.
Red Dean. Youngblood, the young puppy that came out.
Oh, yeah, well, on that team.
Yeah.
Got 3:15 to go. 1st and 10. Tennessee State taking their time here. There's the toss right side. Here comes Anthony finding seam, and he's up to around the 30-yard line. Nice pickup there for Charles Anthony.
And he
Sequin Dow.
And he should be approaching a 100-yard mark on the game.
Should be coming close. As time runs down here, just a reminder for you, stay tuned. Coming up next on Fox Sports Net, The Last Word with Jim Rome. And those of you watching in Florida will see Marlins on deck with Jay Randolph, followed by the baseball game for the Marlins and the Phillies. That's coming up right after this game.
I mean, 2 right in a row back-to-back. Speaking of another guy who needs counseling, 17 rushes, 101 yards, 1 touchdown.
Charles Anthony, not bad for a freshman from Orlando.
That's my homeboy, my hometown.
Got a timeout with 2:45 to go, and we will take a timeout as well. Tennessee State with a commanding lead, 27-7 on the Atlanta Football Classic. The Dome in Atlanta, where Tennessee State has a commanding 27-7 lead, and I'm joined now with the man with a big smile, Dr. James Hepner, the president of Tennessee State University. Look at that smile. You have to be pleased with what you've seen here today.
Well, you know, it's a good contest between outstanding institutions, both academically and athletically. So I'm just delighted. Fred Humphrey's a very good friend of mine who will be retiring in December. So obviously I wish Fred well. I obviously did not wish for Fred to go out like this, but he knows that it is an athletic contest and between 2 outstanding schools.
Well, this game is pretty much a legacy between the two of you, you and Dr. Humphries, your dedication to this game with the 100 black men here in Atlanta. Talk a bit about that.
Well, one thing is that the 100 black men of Atlanta, they do things for young people that I think we should be about, African-American males, and it's an endangered species, as you well know, and so that's why I support this contest. Although it's in the midst of devastation and havoc in Washington and New York, I think that still we stand as a nation, and we're here in a unified fashion playing a very outstanding game. And so I applaud the 100 black men of Atlanta for what they do for athletics, and also what they do to increase the supply of African Americans at the college level.
Speaking of the college level, bring us an update on things up in Nashville and Tennessee State. You guys are so busy and so much going on about that campus.
Well, we are the 4th largest African American institution in the United States. We have students from 43 states and 54 foreign countries, and we are quite diversified in terms of black and white students. We need to be about unity in this country, and so if you look at us in terms of the white students that we have and the black students, you'll see that this country now is a unified country, and it's one that we have a manifestation of at Tennessee State. So I appreciate what the 100 black men are doing as an organization, and they have made it an excellent opportunity for young people who would not ordinarily have an opportunity to attend college.
Well, Dr. James Hampton, we appreciate you stopping by to visit with us today, and I'm sure you're very pleased with the outcome of today's game. Congratulations to you and all the Tigers from Nashville.
Well, thank you very much, and this has been a great contest, and I thank your organization for all the good things that you do.
Thank you so much. Yes, that's Dr. James Hampton, the president of Tennessee State University, joining us here as time runs down on this game. We got about 1:30 to go, and Tennessee State in command as Florida A&M has called another timeout. There you got to look at Coach Reese. Got a little smile on his face now, as well he should. He brought Coach Billy Joe down from the box. Not many people have done that before. Tennessee State up 27-7. We're coming back to the Georgia Dome in a moment. Tennessee State up 27-7. And there's the toss to Charles Anthony around the left side. He's moving the 45 at the 50 field, and he may go. No, he's brought down just short of the 35-yard line. Florida A&M. Another impressive run from this freshman from your hometown.
And again, you go back to the offensive line. This is the key unit. Chris Symington is actually the offensive line coach, as I alluded to. A former teammate of mine, Harry Galbraith, also working with the offensive line. A guy that I know very well, a guy that brings attitude. But again, I just can't help but draw the parallels between his running style and that of Emmitt Smith.
It's been oh so impressive as the clock ticks down to the 1-minute mark in this game. Tennessee State will take a win as they play a conference game next against Southeast Missouri State. Florida A&M will play a conference game against Howard next time out. There's the big fullback, Kayron Key.
And Kayron can run.
He's shown us that very much today. That has very much been in evidence.
Very versatile player, running the football and a good blocker leading up in there for that young freshman from Orlando, Florida.
30 seconds to go. A reminder now, stay tuned. Coming up next on Fox Sports Net, The Last Word with Jim Rome. And for those of you watching in Florida, you will see Marlins on deck with Jay Randolph, followed by the baseball game against the Phillies. That's all coming up after the conclusion of our game, which now has only 10 seconds left. Well, now we have 10 seconds left. One final play, and that's going to do it. And time runs out on the field. And what we expected to be a pretty evenly matched offensive showdown that never materialized, Jamie. Tennessee State scored early and never let Florida A&M get back into this game.
Tremendous job by the Tennessee State coaching staff getting their team ready. Again, thinking about going back to the introduction, 3 weeks off. This team has not played in 3 weeks, and to be able to come out and do the things, I believe they only had 3 penalties or 3 or 4 penalties tremendous showing both offensively, defensively, and really it's a coming together. As if you look down on the field, you see both coaches there, Coach Joe and Coach Reese, two fine young men, and not only are they good coaches, they're good people as well.
And they do develop outstanding young people in their programs. We're going to come back and wrap up today's game. The final score, Tennessee State against Florida, beating Florida A&M 27-7. We'll be right back. Inside has been a great celebration for Tennessee State as the Tigers score a 27-7 win over the Rattlers of Florida A&M. Players down on the field greeting one another after this game, and Tennessee State getting ready to pick up some hardware, Jamie.
Well, no question about it. You look at it going back into the OVC schedule, this is a great momentum builder for Tennessee State.
Indeed, and especially we were wondering just what we were going to see. And I even talked with Coach Reese before the game. He wasn't quite sure what he was going to see. You know, they went through the regular routine last week, didn't play. They scrimmaged each other on Saturdays. All the games were called off. And this week they tried to, you know, continue as much normal as possible leading up to this game.
And that's the thing about it. There's always an unknown. Anytime you start talking about emotion, there are unknowns. There's no question about it. Florida A&M not showing you what they've done in the past. I mean, this is not a team that's, you know, that their performance today is not indicative of the kind of program that they have. Coach Joe, again, winning the conference last year, 6 out of the last 7 years or something like that. They finished either first or second in the conference, and this game has been a lot more competitive. But at the same time, you got to tip your hat to Tennessee State. Coach Reese and the staff done a tremendous job of making it happen and getting and rallying their troops.
It could indeed be a springboard to an incredible season for this team, Tennessee State University. We'll be back with some closing thoughts from the Georgia Dome after this timeout. Back at the Georgia Dome in Atlanta, where Tennessee State has beaten Florida A&M 27-7. There you get a look at the Tigers. After a 3-week layoff, they come here, Jamie, and they knock off the Florida A&M team in pretty impressive fashion. What are your thoughts?
No question about it. And I'd like to also say, you know, thanks to the 100 Black Men of Atlanta for putting together such a fine event. I mean, truly, you know, Dr. Humphreys and Florida A&M, and it's just been a great weekend when you consider the trials and tribulations of the last 10 days. It's just been fantastic to see that so many people can come together in an event. And as I said in the intro, we can press on.
Yes, we can. The president gave us the go-ahead to get things back to normal, and having a college football game and a celebration like this today goes a long way toward making that happen.
Amen.
Well, Jamie, it's been an outstanding game. Thanks to you and our crew here at the Georgia Dome. For Jamie Dukes, this is Sam Crenshaw saying so long from the Georgia Dome in Atlanta, where the final score is Tennessee State 27, Florida A&M 7. Fox Sports Net coverage of college football continues tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern, when the University of Southern Cal plays 7th-ranked Oregon. Coming up next, the last word with Jim Rome, except in Florida, where you will see Marlins baseball beginning with Marlins on Deck with host Jay Randolph. You've been watching college football on Fox Sports Net.